The way nothing triumphs a perfectly honest call.
I don't believe what I just saw.
And the way the right voice can make a moment live forever.
Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Outsiders may think this is just two teams.
The ball, a bat, and a microphone, but no.
For over 100 years, this has been the soundtrack of the American pastime.
He struck it out looking. It's over. It's over. The Rangers have won the World Series.
The soundtrack of summer. This is Major League Baseball on the radio.
Right now on Sirius XM.
All rise.
Coming in 5.
Get ready to play.
4.
Get up. Get up.
3.
Can you believe it?
Put your seatbelt on.
Wow. My goodness.
Major League Baseball play-by-play is now on Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app.
The South Carolina Gamecocks are on top of the women's college basketball world yet again.
Perfection for South Carolina. 38 games, 38 wins.
We're reacting to the perfect season and talking to the biggest names right here on Channel 374.
Congratulations, Coach Saley. What does this particular title mean to you?
This title is pretty special because it was unexpected.
Keep it locked into SiriusXM SEC Radio as we continue to break it all down and celebrate the Gamecocks' 3rd national title.
Wake up! Wake up, everybody! This is Steve Phillips from the leadoff spot on MLB Network Radio. Join me and former Major League Baseball players Eduardo Perez and Xavier Scruggs as we react to all the latest news and scores across baseball and have plenty of fun along the way.
Steve, you were so right about that.
I don't know if anybody else thinks we're funny, but I think we're funny.
Why are you putting us or we into this?
The leadoff spot, weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
In the village of Pinehurst, North Carolina, where Payne Stewart won his 3rd and final major title, Gary Williams sits down with Stewart's caddy, Mike Hicks, to reflect on their connection.
We became best friends.
The putt.
Didn't think he would make it.
And the crash.
I miss him.
Listen to Payne and Me and browse the entire catalog of golf originals. Search PGA Tour radio specials on the SiriusXM app.
Blue Jays fans, your manager, Sean Schneider, joins MLB Network Radio every other Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Hopefully you get a couple of guys going at the same time, and we're just looking for consistency. It's been tough, it's been frustrating at times, but also feel good about the progress that certain guys have made and that the progress that we've made in terms of, our prep and our work.
Managers at the mic on MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM 89 and the Sirius XM app.
Hello, Blue Jay fans. I'm Craig Ballard, host of your daily Locked On Blue Jays podcast. Locked On Blue Jays is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Locked On Blue Jays brings you the latest Blue Jays news and analysis and breaks down all of the action. Locked On Blue Jays is everything a Blue Jays fan could want, all in a 30-minute daily podcast. Download Locked On Blue Jays right now on the SXM app, available with all trials and popular plans, or wherever you get your podcasts. Search Locked On Blue Jays.
This is Bob Kendrick, president of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum and host of the SiriusXM original podcast, Black Diamonds. Hear stories about the legends of the Negro Leagues and conversations with the all-time greats they've influenced, like 5-time World Series champion Derek Jeter.
I don't care what race you are. You need to know your past. This is U.S. history. It's not just baseball history.
Hear over 70 episodes of the award-winning Black Diamonds podcast, available now on the SiriusXM app or wherever you get your podcast.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win whichever fantasy sport you play. Right now on Channel 87 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Slams the ball to right field. Way back. Way gone.
Is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Low rounding and heading for second to throw. In time.
On the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Long balls and lights out pitching. That was the story yesterday as the Brewers out-homered the Blue Jays 2-1 and won the opener of the 3-game set 3-1. Toronto unbeaten in 4 straight series, attempts to keep that going with a win today. Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Joe Ali is our host and producer, and Tom Young is our technical director. Toronto Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Bancroft and Halliburton. Protect your vehicle from rust today. Find your local family-owned Crown at crown.com, Canada's #1 rust protection. With the Blue Jays offense struggling as of late, it's an interesting matchup tonight. Carlos Rodriguez gets the start for Milwaukee. Glass half full for Toronto. It's his debut in the majors. Glass half empty. He's been Milwaukee's minor league pitcher of the year 2 seasons in a row. Yuse Kikuchi will go against him with first pitch coming up next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, streaming on sportsnet.ca, the Sportsnet app, and across the Sportsnet radio network.
Not tomorrow, not someday. The home improvements begin today. It's game on with Timber Mart. Build that deck, raise that fence, landscape till your property is beautiful. Don't pay for 12 months on the Timber Mart deferred payment program. Your locally owned, completely Canadian hub of building and renovation expertise. Get your Timber Mart credit card at participating locations and pay later. 12 months later. Conditions apply. Ask in store for details or apply at timbermart.ca.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between pizza and inflation. First to the plate, with over 2 million sold, it's Fixed Rate Pizza, a hot and fresh extra-large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for Fixed Rate Pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizza.ca. Major Championship Golf is on SiriusXM, and U.S. Open Radio is your exclusive home for our national championship.
That may be a U.S. Open winning shot.
Hear from 3-time U.S. Women's Open champion Annika Sorenstam and 2009 U.S. Open winner Lucas Glover.
Obviously a goal, the highest honor you can have as an athlete.
And all of the biggest names in the sport, live from Pinehurst number 2. Listen to U.S. Open Radio all week long on Channel 92 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
And it's gone!
Jays fans, this is John Schneider, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on SiriusXM.
There's the exclamation point for all assembled here at Rogers Center.
Radio Network.
Game 2 of Blue Jays and Brewers is about to get set at American Family Field. Welcome back. I'm Ben Schulman, alongside Chris LaRue. Carlos Rodriguez against Yuse Kikuchi today. Chris, it's an interesting matchup. The Blue Jays go up against a 22-year-old in his Major League debut.
Well, I love a good Major League debut, but like I've said so many times this season, you have to get traffic on the base. You have to increase that heart rate. As soon as you get guys on base and as soon as you steal some bags, Carlos Rodriguez is going to start the game will start speeding up on him, and things become a little bit harder and tougher, and you make bad pitches when the game speeds up on you. So if I'm John Schneider, if I'm the guys that are getting on base, I'm trying to speed up the game. I'm trying to get to second base. I'm doing what Dalton Varsho does. If I'm Spencer Horwitz and I get on base, I'm gone first pitch.
We'll see what the Blue Jays do in the top of the first inning. Before we get there, though, let's go over to Baseball Control with today's host, Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. Welcome back, everyone, inside Baseball Control. Hope you are all doing well this evening. Before we check out the Bet365 standings update, let's check in with Blair and Barker. The guys catching up with one of the more surprising Blue Jays. It's been a lot of fun to watch. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, he joined them on their show earlier this afternoon.
We've talked about your versatility, and that's clearly a calling card for you. But Kevin made this point, and I'm kind of wondering about it. Are you finding it a little easier this year because you're not being asked to play shortstop as one of the positions that you're being fit into?
I don't know. I feel like my first year in New York was, that was a tough experience for me. I learned a lot. My second year in New York, I got off shortstop. And, I really fell in love with moving around and everything. But I still believe, I don't really feel like that has a ton to do with it. I just feel like moving around and being able to move positions, I just feel a little more athletic. It takes the pressure off of, having to be a 900 OPS guy that plays third base. Because, that's my game is more of a contact approach. driving runners in when they're in scoring position, moving guys over. So I like to be, moving around. It just keeps me fresh, and it keeps my mind open to not just trying to, be a traditional third baseman that has to hit 30 home runs to play. So it just gives me more opportunities, more room, and helps my ability to help the team.
You mentioned the fastball. What is the key to hitting the fastball in 2024?
It's hard. It's guys are throwing four seams, sinkers, and cutters. Usually they only have one, but they have all three fastballs now. So you don't know which fastball exactly is coming. So you have to be on time for when it does come. And that's like everyone's throwing hard. Everyone's got nasty stuff. So you just got to be on time for the fastball, and that's how the game's changed. It's hard to even put those fastballs in place sometimes. So, we talk about swings, we talk about mechanics and all the time, but I feel like being on time is something that the game's been missing for a long time.
That's just a little snippet of the conversation between Jeff Blair, Kevin Barker, and the Blue Jays' very own Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Catch the whole chat with IKF on the Blair and Barker podcast feed. And B&B will also have Jays Talk after tonight's ball game. All right, let's check that Bet365 standings update. At Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and you can even make a bet while the game is still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Let's check out the AL East. The Yankees are 47-21. The Orioles are 43-22. The Red Sox are 33-33. The Blue Jays are 32-34. And the Rays, after getting swept in a 4-game series by the Orioles, the Rays are 31-35. And a quick check of the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard right now. The Orioles lead the Braves 3-0. The Rays are trailing the Cubs 1-0. The Phillies with Zach Wheeler and Cutter Crawford in that pitching matchup. The Phillies are on top of the Red Sox, going to the bottom of the fourth inning at Fenway 3-1. And the Yankees and Royals will get going when our game gets going in a couple of minutes. For the hockey fans out there, the Stanley Cup Final underway. Panthers up 2-0 in the final. And if you haven't yet heard, Rogers has announced an exciting new national contest, Bring Stanley Home, to send Rogers customers and hockey fans from across Canada to the Stanley Cup Final in Edmonton. Rogers customers have the chance to win 10 VIP trips for two to attend Game 4 in Edmonton on Saturday, June 15th. This prize also features travel and accommodation, plus premium viewing at a game day concert featuring Shania Twain outside Rogers Place. Visit rogers.com/Stanley Cup to enter for your chance to win and for more details. All right, sounds like we are just about ready to go at American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's get you over to some action. And for the starting lineups, here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. John Schneider and Pat Murphy's team's about to do battle in Game 2 of the series. Chris, who are we going to see today in Schneider's Toronto Blue Jays lineup?
Well, leading off and playing second base is Spencer Horwitz. Catching and batting second is Danny Jansen. DHing and batting third is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. At shortstop is Bo Bichette. He'll hit in the cleanup spot. In left field, batting fifth is Dalton Varsho. Justin Turner will play first base and bat sixth. Batting seventh and in right field is George Springer. At third base, batting eighth is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. And batting ninth and playing center field is Kevin Kiermaier. On the mound is Yuse Kikuchi. And for the Milwaukee Brewers, leading off and playing third base is Andrew Monasterio. Behind the plate, batting second is William Contreras. Batting third and playing left field is Christian Yelich. At shortstop, batting in the cleanup spot is Willie Adames. Rhys Hoskins is batting fifth and will play first base. DHing and batting sixth is Gary Sanchez. Blake Perkins is in center field and will bat seventh. In right field, batting eighth is Jackson Churio. And batting ninth, playing second base, is Bryce Terang. On the mound, making his major league debut, is Carlos Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, the 22-year-old right-handed pitcher for the Brewers, stands at 6 feet tall, 205 pounds, becomes the 16th Nicaraguan-born major leaguer in baseball history. He's getting his warm-up pitches in right now before facing Horwitz, Danny Jansen, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in the top of the first inning. And the first is brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Bring nature to your backyard with Armstrong, feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. Right-hander Rodriguez was a 2021 sixth-round pick out of Florida Southwestern College, a junior college And he's a guy who, despite being born in Nicaragua, was in the draft because he ended up moving to the United States, went to high school in Miami, stayed in Florida for junior college, and has quickly risen through the Milwaukee system. And now will throw his first pitch in the majors. Spencer Horwitz, playing in just his 19th major league game, leads it off for the Blue Jays as we're about to get underway. Clash of blues today. The Blue Jays in their deeper dark blue. For Milwaukee, it's a baby blue Brew Crew City Connect jersey. White pants for the Brewers and gray pants for the Blue Jays. Righty Rodriguez starts from a stretch position, and his first pitch is hit foul. 0-1. Time of the first pitch today, 8:11 Eastern, 7:11 local. Second straight day, the roof is closed at American Family Field, which houses just about 42,000. The 0-1. Should have been a called strike, but the pitch dropped at the top of the zone, called a ball, and it's 1-1. Rodriguez features a cutter, which he just threw, a four-seamer, a slider, a curve, a changeup, and an occasional sinker. 1-1. Inside, Horwitz jumps out of the way of the cutter. 2-1. Blue Jays second baseman is 3 for 10 to start his season. Doubled yesterday. Has 2 walks and a strikeout in 3 games. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul tip back. Center cut fastball. 2-2. Long chain peeking out of the baby blue jersey for Rodriguez. Short beard, the 2-2. Is hit down the left field line. Moving toward the corner, Christian Yelich leaps toward the stands, but in Bartman-like fashion, a fan reaches forward and takes it away from Yelich. It's still 2-2.
Well, that looked dangerous over there. There's a metal railing, and Christian Yelich climbs over it. He has a big smile on his face, so he's obviously healthy, but it's a scary situation over there if you're the Milwaukee Brewers.
I think that fan in a hater jersey really did get in the way, too. I don't know that he makes that catch, but the guy in the hater jersey did get the ball, so I guess it worked out for him. It looks like Carter in the dunk contest at his elbow hanging over the railing. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First batter that Rodriguez sees in the major leagues. He strikes him out on an elevated fastball, and there's 1 out.
Nothing like getting your first major league strikeout on your first batter. Horwitz looking up at the TV, seeing what was what with that swing there, but that was a good pitch at the top of the strike zone, 95 miles an hour, right by Spencer Horwitz.
So 1 out and Danny Jansen to the plate with the bases empty. Right on right pitch. Inside at 96, 1-0. Jansen reaching down for some dirt. He's back in the lineup today after getting the day off yesterday. The kick and the pitch. Swing and a high fly ball. Deep left field. Yelich back makes the catch on the track. Good contact. But Jansen just missed that cutter left over the middle. There are 2 down.
Yeah, you can see Rodriguez smacking his leg. He knows he missed that pitch right over the middle. That was a very hittable pitch. It kind of seemed like Danny Jansen might have got that off the end of the bat. Just in front of that fence in left field, Christian Yelich catches it easily.
Cutter was running away from Jansen as he swung at it. Now 2 quick outs and 8 pitches for Rodriguez. Here's his 9th pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Smoked on the ground left side. Sliding stop at short by Adames. Pops up. Bouncing throw to first in time. Guerrero thinks that the first baseman Hoskins came off the bag trying to pick it. He points to the third base dugout. We'll see what the Blue Jays do. Brew Crew are heading off the field like they think the inning is over. And it looks like the Blue Jays will not make a challenge. A highlight reel defensive play by Willie Adames gets Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And that's a 1-2-3 top of the first for Rodriguez. No score headed to the bottom half. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
We're 2 men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think 2 men and a truck. since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you own. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're 2 men and a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
Bring it in, Canada. When it comes to small business, Desjardins is a big fan. And not just the hop on the bandwagon fan. We're the in it for the long haul fan. The fan that's been there from the start. That's why Desjardins awarded 150 entrepreneurs with Good Spark grants worth $20,000 each. Because like any fan, there's nothing we love more than celebrating a goal!
See how Desjardins is cheering on small business at goodsparkgrants.ca.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
He dives, and he made the catch.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Yuse Kikuchi on the mound for the Blue Jays. Scoreless game, bottom 1 in Milwaukee. His pitch to Andrew Monasterio misses up and away. Ball 1. Welcome to the Timbermark broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Monasterio, glasses on, bats from the right side. The pitch. Inside, ball 2. For Kikuchi, it's his 14th start of the year, 3-5 with an ERA just below 3.5. 71 strikeouts in 72 in the third innings. 2-0. Misses low with the curveball, 3-0. And Kikuchi coming off one of his better starts of the year. Went 6 innings and gave up 1 earned run against Baltimore, striking out 6. That came back on the 6th. 3-0 pitch outside. No, a called strike. And a very controversial one from Quinn Walcott. That looked way outside. It's Walcott at the plate, Junior Valentine at first, Ramon DeJesus at second, and Adrian Johnson at third.
Yeah, that fastball right there really wasn't close. That was about a ball off the plate.
Next pitch cut on and missed, 3-2. Monasterio relatively inexperienced. He was starting to walk to first. He didn't give any stick there to Walcott. I think a veteran there would have got really upset. Benefits Kikuchi, though, the 3-2. Way outside. This one called a ball. Ball 4.
Well, if you look at the pitch sequence, he fell behind 2-0. And Monasterio is a guy with 1 homer, 4 RBIs. He's only hitting 147, and he comes with that 2-0 pitch. He throws a breaking ball. And we've seen this a lot from Yuse Kikuchi. Early on in ball games, he's nibbling more than he should, like it's the 5th or 6th inning. Throw that fastball down in the zone. Let them make contact.
First pitch to William Contreras is a fastball for strike 1. The only way I play devil's advocate is he went down 2-0 with 2 big misses on a fastball, and then his first strike was another big miss on a fastball, but he just threw a good one there. Now the 0-1. Hit back foul, a changeup on the outside edge, 0-2.
And I totally understand what you're saying, because the general rule of thumb is if you're missing with that fastball, you throw a breaking ball to get the extension, to get the release point. But this early in a ball game, I would never throw that pitch.
It's fair. Runner on first, no score, no outs, bottom 1. The 0-2 is a fastball inside at 97. Kikuchi, amid his great start on the 6th, threw 55% fastballs, which was his highest clip of the season. And he generated a season-high 22 swings and misses from the Baltimore Orioles of all teams. Step and throw over to first. Monasterio back easily.
And we've already seen some very good velo from him. A lot of 96s, and that last pitch was 97. Let's get that thing up to 98, 99.
Contreras, a 308 hitter at the plate. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a bouncer through the legs of Kikuchi and up the middle. Monasterio stops at second. But for Contreras, a single, and now 2 aboard with nobody out.
Well, that was a tough break for Yuse Kikuchi. A good changeup on the outside part of the play. Contreras kind of just sticks the bat out. Actually hits it through Yuse's legs. Just a weak ground ball up the middle. Now the Brewers are in business right now with nobody out.
Dangerous spot for Kikuchi in the first. No score, first and second, nobody out. And Christian Yelich coming to the plate. Left-on-left matchup. Kikuchi looks at second at Monasterio, and the pitch. Curveball, ball strike on the outside edge. Resurgent year for Yelich. He's batting .315. 6 homers, 29 RBIs in 40 games. Kikuchi rocks back, delivers. Swing and a miss. 97 in on the hands, nothing in 2.
That's such a good pitch. 97 on the inside part of the plate, right at the hands. Christian Yelich just swings through it.
Yelich, a dangerous hitter with runners in scoring position, batting .426 this year. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him on a curve in the dirt, and Yelich goes down for the first out of the inning.
And when Kikuchi is throwing strikes, getting ahead, those are the types of at-bats that he has. Quick at-bats, flailing type of swings, just like Christian Yelich did right there. His stuff is too good to be nibbling and falling behind.
An important out, but Kikuchi now has to go up against the guy who was most dangerous yesterday. It's Willy Adames, who drove in 2 of the 3 runs for the Brewers. First pitch is a fastball called strike. Again, looked off the plate outside, but it's 0-1.
Well, I guess that's a strike tonight. That was about a half ball off the plate. Still a ball. I would be upset if I was Adames.
.01 inside. 98. Somewhat of a unique stance for Adames. Hitters a lot talk about, they get into their load, they bring their weight back and then forward. He kind of starts with his weight back. His back right leg is bent a lot, and his left leg is fully straight, diagonal. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 1-2.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he does that. He does have a big leg lift, though, so the timing has to be perfect for Adames. Well, it was perfect yesterday.
Hit a solo home run to give the Brewers a lead in the 4th, a sac fly to pad that lead in the 6th. Kikuchi will turn and throw to second. Monasterio dives back. And he's having a good season overall. Adames hitting just below .250. Leads the team with 17 doubles, 10 homers, and 45 RBIs. 1-2. Swing and a fly ball to right. Springer sprinting in. Will call off Horwitz, the second baseman, make the catch. No one's going anywhere as Springer came close to the infield dirt to make that play. There are 2 down.
And again, he gets ahead and he throws a tough fastball there at the top of the strike zone. That fastball was 98 miles an hour. Willy Adames kind of just flails at it. It's a weak pop-up to George Springer. But again, when he's getting ahead, he is almost unhittable.
Really, for Kikuchi, just the first batter was a problem today. Slow rolling single up the middle for Contreras after the leadoff walk. Now a strikeout and a flyout. Here's Rhys Hoskins. Kikuchi's pitch. Outside with the curve, 1-0. Fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup for Kikuchi. A lot more curveballs this year. A lot fewer sliders, which was really his big pitch when he came over from Seattle. 1-0. Curveball misses again. 2-0.
I actually like his curveball a lot. But not those last 2 that he just threw. Those were just spinning way out of the strike zone. But when he gets on top of that curveball, it is a very good pitch.
A pitch that he implemented last year and has really improved upon it even this season. 2-0. Fastball popped up. Jansen can't see it, but it's out of play. 2-1. Rhys Hoskins went 0 for 3 yesterday with 3 strikeouts. His average to .230. Tied with Adames for the team lead in homers with 10, and he spent some time on the injured list, so this is 48th game. 2-1. This is low with the curve. 3-1.
I don't mind that pitch right there just because Rhys Hoskins is looking for something hard over the middle of the plate, might be guessing fastball there, and then you throw a curveball that looks like a strike, and then it just breaks out of the zone. That was a good take from Rhys Hoskins.
Right-handed hitter, very straight up. 3-1 pitch. Fastball called inside, and that one's certainly on the plate, but it's ball 4.
Danny Jansen holding that pitch there, framing it, and then taking a few steps out to Yuse, shaking his head. Neither Yuse or Danny Jansen liked that call. That was a strike. That is a tough call right there.
It's like the whole zone is shifted a baseball or two to the left if you're looking from the pitcher's perspective, because some pitches way off the plate have been called strikes. That one on the inside edge called a ball, and now the bases are loaded in the first for Gary Sanchez. First pitch heater outside, 1-0.
And Gary Sanchez is a dangerous hitter, but he's a guy that you can expand. Once you throw strike one, you can expand up and you can expand down, and he's likely to swing at those pitches.
Longtime Yankee catchers, the DH today. 216 hitter, 7 homers this year in 43 games. Monasterio on third, Contreras on second, Hoskins on first. No score, bottom 1. The 1-0 pitch fouled back. 98 again. 1-1.
It was a big swing from Gary Sanchez, though. We've seen him hit some big homers in his career. A ton of pop.
Sanchez, before Aaron Judge was the sensation in New York, there was a brief period where it was Sanchez. Hit 20 homers in 50 games in his rookie season. 1-1 pitch in the dirt, blocked by Jansen. 2-1.
I mean, it seems like 20 years ago, but he was the guy for about maybe a year and a half in New York City.
Sanchez came up that year, almost won Rookie of the Year in a 50-game stint. Michael Fulmer beat him out, the Tigers pitcher. 2-1. Rolled to the left side, gobbled up by the third baseman IKF, throw to first in time. And that will end the inning. Kikuchi plays with fire, but after a hit and 2 walks, he leaves the bases loaded and keeps the game scoreless after 1. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Keep the grill lit.
A T-bone steak, cheese, eggs, and Welch's grape.
With barbecue-themed channels sure to get the backyard bumping. From hip-hop
Bring the noise
to classic rock.
American girl.
Country.
Can I have some help?
And beyond. Set it and forget it this Father's Day weekend and all summer long. Only in the SiriusXM app. Just search BBQ.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win your fantasy leagues right now on Channel 87.
Aaron Judge drills a 3-run home run.
From in-season fantasy baseball management to daily fantasy playoff basketball to reacting to the NFL draft, Fantasy Sports Radio is here to help you dominate.
Don't ever take a player that you don't intend to keep all year. Don't do it. It's terrible management.
Fantasy Sports Radio, your home for fantasy sports. Channel 87 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
The Busted Open podcast is now available on YouTube. This is Dave LaGreca, host of Busted Open, the #1 pro wrestling show on the planet. You can now watch and listen to the award-winning Busted Open podcast every single day on YouTube. Our best interviews, behind-the-scenes access, and some of our best content from the past. All available right now when you go to youtube.com/@BustedOpenPodcast. Subscribe right now.
The Blue Jays are in flight, leading 3-0.
Blue Jays fans, this is Ross Atkins, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on SiriusXM.
Radio Network.
It's the second inning presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app for today's baseball odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Appreciate you joining us tonight. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Carlos Rodriguez out for his second major league inning. He'll pitch to Bo Bichette. First one is in there. Strike one. 0-0 in the top of the second. Rodriguez retired the Blue Jays in order in the first, including a strikeout. 0-1. Downstairs. Rodriguez is the 12th Brewers starter used already this season. They're in game 67. 1-1. Swing and a pop-up into the seats behind home plate. 1-2. With Rodriguez's start today, the Brewers are tied with the Braves for most starters used this year.
And usually when you hear a stat like that, you assume that the team is probably in the basement or pretty close to it, but the Brewers are 39-27.
Swing and a miss by Bichette on a fastball. He's down for the first out of the second. Brewers have a top 5 run scoring offense in baseball. Didn't get to see it a ton yesterday, but they did enough with 3 runs to beat the Blue Jays 3-1. So 1 down, and here's Dalton Varsho, the native of Marshfield, Wisconsin, playing here in Milwaukee. First pitch. Outside, ball 1.
I bet he's spending a lot of money on tickets.
I would imagine he is. Now, he has played there before,
That's
at
true.
least, so that I would assume lessens the load a little bit. 1-0, inside, 2-0.
I would imagine that a lot of the people that we saw in Blue Jays hats, Blue Jays jerseys last night were probably friends, family, acquaintances of Varsho.
You have that. You have Danny Jansen with a local connection. 2-0 pitch, line down the right field line. Fair ball rolling into the corner. Cut off by Churio. Varsho digging for second. Throw to second late. Varsho slides in with a 1-out double. In front of the friends and family, a 2-bagger for Dalton Varsho. That's the first Blue Jays base runner today.
That was a good swing right there on a changeup right down the middle. He waits back, gets the barrel to it, just sneaks it in down that line, down the right field line. Churio makes a good play, actually, and makes a good throw, but Dalton Varsho too quick, just getting into second base.
The extra base hits just keep piling up for Varsho. Now has 26 on the year. First pitch to Justin Turner, high, ball 1. But so Varsho with local connections. Danny Jansen grew up in Appleton, Wisconsin as well, even closer than Marshfield to Milwaukee. So you could have 2 contingents there of friends and family. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Called strike.
And then you just have the Blue Jays fans there because it's really not that far.
If you're in central Canada, drive across the border, might see some fans from Winnipeg or from Alberta, from the prairies. Runner on second, the 1-1, high, 2-1.
On Rodriguez's first pitch of that at-bat, Dalton Varsho was bouncing around out at second base. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes off here, especially with only 1 out.
Varsho had a big steal of third in the finale against Oakland. A look at second, the 2-1. Check swing, called strike on a pitch, certainly outside, but it's been that kind of night, 2-2.
Well, you're right. That strike zone has just shifted over a half a ball. That's what it seems like.
I mean, if it stays that way the whole night, you can live with it. But it was a bit jarring to start. Runner on second, 1 out. 2-2 pitch to Turner. Swing and a liner, left field base hit. Varsho had to wait to make sure it wasn't caught, so he will stay at third as Yelich rifles it back into the infield. But a single for Turner and runners on the corners for the Blue Jays.
Well, that ball was hit so hard and got to Christian Yelich out there in left field so quickly that even Dalton Varsho couldn't score. That's a good swing right there. Fastball at the top of the strike zone. Justin Turner just smokes that thing into left field.
You said before the game, Blue Jays need traffic against a guy in his debut or a rookie pitcher. They have 2 on with 1 out, and here's George Springer. The righty Rodriguez peeks over his shoulder. The pitch to Springer, inside, ball 1.
And the reason I said traffic is important is because with guys on base, you're trying to be quick to the plate. You're trying to negate the running game. You're trying to throw a pitch to the guy hitting.
1-0. Swing and a liner. Right field base hit down in right center. Varsho scores. Turner up to second. 1-0 Blue Jays on George Springer's RBI single.
That was a good swing right there. Taking that fastball from Rodriguez and just hitting it the other way. Wow. 3 good swings this inning.
3 hits in a row for the Blue Jays. Yesterday, they had 4 hits all game. And now the Brewers trying to slow this game down for their pitcher making his debut, Rodriguez. Quick mound visit before Isaiah Kiner-Falefa comes up to the plate. The pitching coach, Chris Hook, is on the mound. Hook talking directly to Contreras a little bit, the catcher as well. Rodriguez, the rookie starter, taking a walk behind the mound.
I think if I was the pitching coach and I was out on the mound during that visit, I would say, hey, don't worry about the guy at second base. Justin Turner is not going anywhere. Make these pitches like nobody is on base. Full leg lift, all of that stuff. Just make a good pitch.
Turner, no stolen bases, 2 caught stealings this year. First pitch to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, misses high, 1-0.
But easier said than done, of course.
3 hits in a row allowed by Rodriguez after 4 straight outs to start his debut. A look at second and the 1-0. Swing and a foul back. Kiner-Falefa has 26 RBIs this year, a .270 hitter. Drove in 5 in the Blue Jays finale against Oakland 2 days ago. That was a career high. Right-handed hitter in an open stance. And the 1-1. Swing and a pop-up into the seats off to the right. 1-2. Turner on second, Springer on first, 1 out. Rodriguez looks at second, kicks, fires, and it's hooked on the ground to third. Picked up there by Monasterio. Throw to second, 1 over to first, not in time. A fielder's choice. Turner advances to third on the play. Springer is forced out, and there are runners on the corners with 2 down.
That was actually a pretty good job from IKF. As soon as he hit that baseball, he put his head down and sprinted to first base, just beating the throw.
Keeps the inning alive for the Blue Jays on the fielder's choice and gives Kevin Kiermaier a chance to hit with runners on the corners. Third baseman Monasterio playing in case of a squeeze play. Here's the pitch. Inside, scoots away from Contreras, but he picks it up, 1-0. Rodriguez was quick to dash toward the plate just in case.
Well, I don't think Justin Turner's going anywhere.
Have to go to the backstop. I think
it would have to go in the stands.
Kiermaier was ducking in case there was a throw. Now the 1-0 is ripped at and missed by Kevin Kiermaier. It's 1-1. Center fielder batting .203 on the season, 9 RBIs. IKF with a big lead off first, and the pitch. Swing and a pop up into the seats, 1-2. With the idea of runners on the bases potentially messing with the rookie, do you think about maybe getting IKF going?
I would here for sure. I thought he was going to go on the last pitch there.
1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Chases the changeup in the dirt. Kiermaier strikes out to end the inning, but the Blue Jays get on the board. They score 1 on 3 hits. Varsho's double is knocked in by Springer's single. It's 1-0 Toronto, middle of 2. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Show your pride in the heart of Toronto and create core memories. Join us at the ballpark on Friday, June 14th for Pride Night, presented by TD, and get your Blue Jays Rainbow Rope corduroy hat. At the core of who we are. Celebrate pride and enjoy great Pride Night activities around the ballpark. On Friday, June 14th, arrive early to get your Blue Jays Rainbow Rope corduroy hat giveaway. Pride Night, presented by TD. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Not tomorrow, not someday. The home improvements begin today. It's game on with Timber Mart. Build that deck, raise that fence, landscape till your property is beautiful. Don't pay for 12 months on the Timber Mart Deferred Payment Program. Your locally owned, completely Canadian hub of building and renovation expertise. Get your Timber Mart credit card at participating locations and pay later. 12 months later. Conditions apply. Ask in store for details or apply at timbermart.ca.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep. Because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Vladdy with a huge stretch for the double play.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bottom of the second in Milwaukee, 1-0 Blue Jays at American Family Field. Yuse Kikuchi delivers a first pitch inside. 1 ball and no strikes against Blake Perkins. Perkins, Jackson Chourio, Bryce Terang to hit for the Brewers in the home half of the second. 7-8-9 for Milwaukee. Left on right pitch. Curveball low. 2-0. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali's our host and producer, and Tom Young, our technical director today. Kikuchi comes set at the belt. And the 2-0. Fastball in there. Strike 1.
He's got such a good fastball. Just throw that thing first pitch. Get ahead of hitters.
Kikuchi had to throw 26 pitches in the first. Bases loaded, but they did not score. Swing and a miss on another heater. It's 2-2. Blue Jays up 1 thanks to George Springer's RBI single. Knocked in Dalton Varsho in a 3-hit second. 2-2. Fastball hit on the ground right side, and it scorched through the hole into shallow right for a base hit. Weak contact, but it works for Perkins. He's aboard to lead off the second.
Yeah, that fastball is right down the middle. Not really where he wanted it. You could see Danny Jansen's target was up at the top of the strike zone, but he still jammed Perkins. Like you said, it was weak contact, just found a hole.
Left it a little more in rather than up. It's the second hit for the Brewers. Neither have been very hard hit. It was the walks, 2 of them in the first, that really burned Kikuchi. His first pitch to Jackson Chourio, the rookie. High with a fastball, 1-0. Mentioned yesterday that Chourio's in the first year of his 8-year, $82 million contract that he signed with the Brewers before having any service time in Major League Baseball. A look at first the 1-0. Swing and a miss.
And I mentioned yesterday that that's a lot of money for a guy that's never set foot on a Major League field.
It is. Although he had a big hit yesterday. He hit the home run.
He did.
Right after the Blue Jays took the lead in the third yesterday, Chourio responded with the solo shot to tie the game up at 1. Step and throw to first. And back in easily is the runner Perkins. You could hear Quentin Berry, the first base coach, screaming back early. He recognized that move from Kikuchi.
That's part of the job description as a first base coach. You got to be loud. You got to be loud.
1-1. Called strike 2. You mentioned yesterday you played with or against Quentin Berry?
Against Quentin Berry, with Jason Lane.
Lane, the third base coach for the Brewers.
I also mentioned yesterday that I feel old now.
Well, I didn't say that. 1-2. Low with the changeup. Chourio lays off. Chourio likely makes a lot of guys in the majors feel old. Born in 2004 from Maracaibo, Venezuela. 2-2. Hit foul back into the backstop. An elevated fastball. And Chourio skipping around like he feels maybe he could have got that ball, but he just tipped it behind him.
That's a tough pitch. That was 97 on the inner half at the top of the strike zone. Unless you're cheating to that pitch, which he very well might have been, you're not going to make good contact on it.
2-2 curve, yanked foul. He was cheating for that pitch. He smoked it into the seats down the left field line.
Yeah, Kikuchi was lucky right there that he didn't hang it in off the plate, and that's really all Chourio could do with that pitch.
Kikuchi's thrown 37 pitches. He doesn't have an out yet in the second. Runner on first, the 2-2. High and outside with a changeup that slipped out of the hand. Full count. Let the first two guys get aboard in the first inning, but pitched out of it. Doesn't want to do the same here in the second with the Blue Jays up 1-0. Lefty looks at first, kicks, fires, and the fastball is called a ball, and that is outrageous. That one right in the zone at the knees. And I have to imagine that one of the managers or pitching coaches on either side is getting hosed from this game today, because this zone has been ludicrous, and we're only in the second inning.
That is about as good as it gets. Yuse Kikuchi yelling something into the home plate umpire. He was pointing at where that ball was. John Schneider also voicing his opinion, shaking his head over there. Pete Walker, everybody in that dugout or on the field is very upset right now. That's about as good as it gets.
Instead, it's first and second. Here's Bryce Terang, who shows bunt on the first pitch and puts it down foul. 0-1.
That's a game-changing call right there.
It's a terrible call. There's no way around it. And if there weren't 5 calls before it that were missed, you can say human error, but this zone has been outrageous for both sides. 0-1. Bunt shown again. Called strike 2. Terang pulled back the bat at the last second. That hit the inside part of the zone. So presumably the bunt off the table now. 2 strikes, nobody out. Runners on first and second for the Brewers. Close stance for the left-handed hitter Terang. Kikuchi's going to step off the mound. One nothing Toronto, bottom of the second. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Terang down on 3 pitches, and there's Kikuchi's first out.
Well, Kikuchi, you could tell, is still a little bit upset from that call. Snatches the ball back from Danny Jansen. That's a beautiful pitch right there. 97, almost on the black outside. Terang takes that slow walk back to the dugout.
So here comes Andrew Monasterio, who was the victim of a terrible called strike in the first inning, but walked. Ended up being stranded on third. First and second, 1 out, the pitch. Called strike 1 on a pitch that looks outside. Monasterio wasn't supposed to start today. I'm mentioning all of them today. I mean, this is, I think there's been more incorrect calls than correct calls.
I think it's about 6 or 7 now.
A look at second. One more peek from Kikuchi, the 0-1. High. Monasterio wasn't supposed to start tonight. Maybe an hour and a half before the game. Joey Ortiz, who was supposed to play third and lead off, pulled out of the game with a sore hamstring. They insert Monasterio in, who's a 147 hitter this year, batting leadoff for the Brewers. 1-1. Inside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Monasterio's been up and down a couple times this year from AAA. 2-1 pitch, curveball in there, 2-2. Utility player broke camp with the Brewers to start the year, but only made it to April 14th after going 0 for 7 to start the year. Came up again in April, then back down. 2-2 pitch, hit foul off to the right. Still 2-2. And then Joey Weimer, the outfielder for the Brewers, hit the injured list. On the 4th of May, he came back up, and he's been with the team ever since, even past Weimer's activation and now subsequent demotion to AAA. 2-2. Hit on the ground, foul left side. I'm a big fan of these Brewers jerseys, and Monasterio's added to the look a little bit. He's got a sparkling baby blue, dark blue, and neon necklace that matches the Brew Crew jersey. City connects for Milwaukee. 2 on, 1 out, the 2-2. Fastball called low, another one that was a strike. Kikuchi throws his left hand in the air. He should be in the dugout, but instead it's a full count.
Well, if you say Kikuchi is reacting like that, you know those are good pitches. That is he just throws his bare hand up in the air, looks back at that jumbotron out there in center field, That is a tough call again. That should be strike 3, and you're right. The Blue Jays should be back in that dugout.
Kikuchi's now up to 49 pitches. Here's the 3-2. And it's hit in the air, center field. Kiermaier going back to the track, reaching out for the wall, makes the catch on the dirt. And Perkins was way off the bag, thinking that one might drop. He does not tag. He gets back to second. There are now 2 down, still runners on first and second.
Well, the Blue Jays got lucky right there. Monasterio puts a ride into one, and Perkins should be at third base right now, but he makes a little base running blunder. The Brewers still have runners on first and second, now with 2 outs.
Pete Walker's going to go talk to Kikuchi, who's had 24 pitches already this inning. Quinn Walcott, who's walking out to the mound right now. And honestly, Chris, I mean, you know pitching coaches better than I. T-minus how many innings until one side's pitching coach gets tossed out?
Well, I guess it didn't happen right here because Pete Walker is going back to the dugout, but a lot of the times a coach will wait till the umpire comes out to the mound and they'll start talking to whoever is umpiring, just so it doesn't make it that obvious. But all the players know, obviously, that that's exactly what's happening.
A controversial walk with 1 out. Then Kikuchi should have struck out Monasterio. Still gets him out on a fly ball. But because of that first missed call, here's William Contreras, 1 for 1 today, batting with 2 on and 2 out. Kikuchi's 51st pitch of the day is called inside, 1-0. That one more borderline than the others, but did appear to catch a part of the plate on the inside edge.
Well, yeah, Yuse was still frustrated with that call. You could see him looking away, tapping that toe on the dirt.
1-0. Called strike, 1-1. The challenge system is coming.
It needs to be in place today.
I'm not saying the full robo-umps, but I think the challenge system's coming. Kikuchi's going to step off. It's been a tiring inning for him. He wipes his face with his jersey, licks his fingers. Runners on first and second, 2 down, 1-0 Blue Jays, bottom of the second inning. The lefty looks at both runners. Now deals the 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Thing about the zone is early on it appeared to be consistent. Okay, the outside edge is a little fat, but it's gone completely haywire. What is a strike and what's not a strike? 1-2. Chopped to the middle of the field, picked up by Bichette. He'll throw the short way to second. Horwitz stretching from second like a first baseman, reels it in to end the inning. Kikuchi battling against a wonky zone, finds a way out of the second, leaves 2 on, and keeps the Blue Jays in front, 1-0. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
We're 2 men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think 2 men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you own. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're 2 men and a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com. At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting, because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
Hey, this is Trevor Richards. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Top of the order for the Blue Jays to lead off the top of the third. 1-0 Toronto in Milwaukee. I'm Ben Schulman. To my left is Chris LaRue. Hope you've had a good start to your week. Blue Jays trying to even up this 3-game set. Lost yesterday 3-1. The rookie Carlos Rodriguez throws a first pitch curveball right down the middle. Starts Horwitz off with called strike one. Oh, 1. Swing and a looping ball headed to center. That'll sink and get down in front of Blake Perkins for a base hit. Making hits in the last 3 games for Spencer Horwitz, who's on to start the third.
Horwitz has been very impressive. Takes that changeup off the plate outside and doesn't try to do too much with it. Just dumps it out in front of Blake Perkins out in center field. I'll tell you what, he's a professional hitter for a guy that has really a small sample size.
First pitch to Danny Jansen, called strike one. And he's not trying to hit moonshots. He's just flicking balls to left, flicking them to center, and finding open space.
That's how you hit 340 2 years in a row in AAA, which is hard to do.
0-1. Jansen fouls it back. Want to win some brand new City Connect merchandise? That's just one of 157 early bird prizes up for grabs in Jays Cares month-long 50-50 jackpot. The earlier you get chances, the earlier you get tickets, the more chances you have to win. Buy now at bluejays.com/50-50. Ontario or Nova Scotia. Next pitch to Jansen, called high. That one sure looked like a strike. But now the Blue Jays get a break on this inconsistent zone. It's 1-2.
You know who Spencer Horwitz reminds me of?
Who?
He reminds me of Matt Haig. But Matt Haig was a right-handed hitter. They're both very similar. They're not trying to do too much.
1-2 pitch is lifted by Jansen, a shallow left, hooking and into the seats.
They'll be 2 for 4, and you'll wonder, how did he just get 2 hits? But for whatever reason, they just find holes. They don't try to do too much. And I believe Matt Haig was International League Most Valuable Player at some point in his career.
He was. 1-2 pitch outside, 2-2. Also briefly a member of the 2015 Toronto Blue Jays. Were you with Haig that MVP year?
I think it was 16.
I believe so.
Yeah.
2-2 low, 3-2.
If it was 15, I was not there. If it was 16, I was there. Yeah, that's when I played with him with Toronto is in Buffalo in 2016.
He won in 15. He hit .338 that year. Very Horwitz-like year.
With Toronto?
With the Buffalo Bisons.
Yeah.
Throw over to first. Horwitz back in safely.
And then I believe he went to Korea after that 2016 season. I could be wrong.
The internet says Japan.
Japan.
I mean,
wherever he's getting paid, I'm happy for him.
3-2, low ball 4. Jansen will take a walk and some early traffic here in the top of the third. Blue Jays have first and second, nobody out.
And Rodriguez had 29 walks in just 62 innings this year in AAA, so he does at times have trouble finding the strike zone, and it looks like, at least to Danny Jansen, he was having trouble finding that strike zone. Let's see if he throws one over the heart of the plate to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. here.
Vladdy 0 for 1, although Adames slid on the left center field grass to take a hit away in the first. First pitch is hit foul to the right, 0-1. Third inning is brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Bancroft and Halliburton. Protect your vehicle from rust today. Find your local family-owned Crown at crown.com. Canada's #1 rust protection. 2 on, no outs. A look at second, the 0-1. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. Vlad taps the far corner of the plate, brings the bat close to his right ear. Slight waggle, slows it down now. Here's the 1-1. Low and away, lays off the slider, 2-1.
How do you think Carlos Rodriguez is feeling right now? 2 guys on, nobody out, and Vlad at the plate?
I think the heart's pumping.
Just a little bit.
Two-one pitch. Called a ball, and that is brutal for Carlos Rodriguez. That's certainly a strike. I mean, that's not even touching the edge of the zone. That's all in the zone. And it's called a ball, so it's 3-1.
Can the umpires get yips? Is that a thing?
I don't know. 3-1. Swing and a liner. Caught at short by Adames. He's barking at Vladdy. He's probably taken 2 hits away from Guerrero. That one was hit right at him, but scorched. Now 1 out.
Well, that fastball was down and away. Vlad does a good job going down and getting it. He's joking around with Willy Adames out there, but I bet there's just a little bit of frustration in that back and forth from Vlad.
Well, Adames barking at him right after he made the catch. Vlad giving it back. I mean, he hits that a foot to the left or a foot to the right, and a run's probably in. But instead, now it's Bo Bichette who takes down an away ball 1. When that happens, does Carlos Rodriguez feel better? Like, do you think he takes a breath?
Absolutely.
Or is it more scary that a guy just hit a ball 108?
The only thing that matters is the result.
Okay. 1-0. Swinging a liner, headed to right, base hit. Fielded on 1 hop by Churio. It was a deep liner, so Horwitz had to wait. He'll go station to station to third. Jansen up to second. Bases loaded. 1 out for the Blue Jays.
That was a great swing right there from Bo. One of the few times this season where he's taken a fastball down the middle and drilled it to right field. We've seen it a few times recently, but when Bo's going right, he gets a lot of those kinds of base hits.
Having a tough June after things were on an uptrend at the end of May, but that's a big one. And for the second straight inning, Chris Hook, the pitching coach for the Brewers, is out to talk to the youngster Rodriguez. Single walk, line out single for the Blue Jays. And Rodriguez, with the bases loaded, only 1 out, has to now face Dalton Varsho, who doubled off him on a liner to right field in the second. Rodriguez, after the mound visit breaks up, walks behind the mound, is looking up and towards center field, turns, adjusts his cap, and heads back up the hill. Righty steps onto the rubber, takes a look in at Varsho, 222 hitter, who now has 13 doubles, 3 triples, and 10 homers. 31 RBIs lead the team. Bases loaded, 1 out, the pitch. Inside, ball 1. Infield and outfield shifted to pull for Varsho. 1-0 in the zone. A high changeup makes it 1-1.
That's actually a big pitch from Rodriguez. Behind in the count, bases loaded, 1 out. Just flips in a changeup right there. Good for him.
His 50th pitch of the day. Swing and a miss. Good changeup breaking off the plate away. 1-2. Varsho asked for time.
And I didn't know much about Rodriguez before this start, but I read a little bit about him. And every article said his changeup is his best pitch, his go-to pitch when he's in trouble.
1-2. Misses upstairs. Went with a fastball that time. It was a bad miss up and to the right. Or maybe setting up another opportunity with the change after he had got 2 strikes on Varsho in a row with it. 1-0 Blue Jays, top of 3. Bases full. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 95 at the top of the zone. 2 down.
That's a tough strikeout right there. Blue Jays need to score at least 1 run here. Bases loaded, less than 2 outs. You can't let Rodriguez and the Brewers off the hook right here.
Justin Turner coming to the plate. 1 for 1 today, singled in the second. Horwitz on third, Jansen on second, Bichette on first, 2 down. And the pitch. Called a ball, another one that's certainly in the zone. It's 1-0, and I mean, if nothing else, it's hurt both teams, the inconsistency of the zone today.
Well, he's consistently inconsistent, that's for sure. That was a bad call right there. I am upset if I'm Rodriguez.
1-0. Called strike. Turner's average up to 237 after the hit in the first. Ballpark he might be happy to be at. He did a lot of damage here last year as a Red Sox. 1-1 is way high. 2-1. Boston traveled to American Family Field in April last year, and in the 3-game set, Turner went 5 for 10 with 2 walks, and 2 of his hits were extra base hits, a double and a homer. Bases loaded, 2 down. The pitch. Swing and a pop-up behind home plate, back foul into the seats. 2-2.
Big pitch right here for Rodriguez. Big swing for Turner.
Justin Turner will ask for time. Part of the reason the Blue Jays picked him up, he's always been a good clutch hitter. A .337 lifetime hitter with the bases loaded in a big sample. Leans back and awaits the 2-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a pop-up back of short. Adames onto the left center field grass, makes a two-handed catch and ends the inning. 2 hits and a walk for the Blue Jays. No runs. They leave the bases loaded and lead 1-0 middle of the third. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's 24 hours of Le Mans.
They're waiting for the red lights and the French tricolore to be waved, and we're racing at Le Mans.
And you can hear every thrilling moment on Sirius XM. For over 100 years, it's been one of motorsport's most prestigious and grueling tests of speed and endurance. We're bringing all 24 hours to you live as teams from around the world battle it out for one of the biggest prizes in racing. 24 hours of Le Mans, starting Saturday morning, 8:30 Eastern on Sirius 137 XM 202 and on the all-new Sirius XM app. Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your Sirius XM subscription?
What?
Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on Sirius XM Channel 89, or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. Sirius XM Sports. We're more than just a game.
Basketball history is made in the NBA Finals.
Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan,
where superstars become icons, and one moment can change the course of basketball history.
Back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James.
We're bringing you inside the 2024 Finals on NBA Radio with nonstop coverage from our experts and every second of every game.
That is one of the more dominant first halves that we've ever seen in Finals history.
NBA Radio, Channel 86, and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Hi, this is Ray Hudson, and for all the biggest matches from club soccer's holy grail, the UEFA Champions League, tune in to Sirius XM FC 157.
And the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Third inning of work for the Japanese lefty Yuse Kikuchi. Has dealt with a lot of traffic, but held the Brewers off the board so far. 1-0 Blue Jays is the score. First pitch at the bottom of the third is hit to left field by Christian Yelich. On the run, Varsho makes the catch near the corner. 1 pitch, 1 out. And for Kikuchi, who just threw his 55th, that's a huge way to start this third.
Yeah, that's a huge way to start the third. But most important thing is he just threw strike 1. I was expecting something off speed, something out of the zone, just because it is Christian Yelich. But this is the leadoff hitter of the inning. You got to pound the zone, throw strike 1.
Kikuchi does it there. Now he faces the dangerous Willy Adames. 0 for 1 so far today. The pitch. Called strike 1. Not counting the fly out today, Adames batting .414 with 3 homers in the last 8 home games for the Brewers. 0-1. Down and away. Part of the reason that Milwaukee has won 14 of the last 17 home games going back to April 30th. Impressive home record overall at 19-10. 1-1 pitches high, 2-1. Right-handed hitter leans back, all the weight on his right foot. Bat resting on his shoulder, the 2-1. Swing and a fly ball foul. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Don't strike out on your next home improvement project. Your team at Timbermart has the great advice and the products you need so you get the job done right. Knock it out of the park and win the day with Timbermart, Canada's building center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. With one out, the 2-2. Swing and a bouncer foul. That was the slider, which he hasn't used a ton today. Left it over the plate, but Adames just tipped it behind him.
Yeah, Adames was just out in front of it. Expecting something hard right there, but Yuse Kikuchi always tries to bury that pitch. That's his bread and butter right there, the buried slider.
This is downstairs with a fastball, 3-2. You mentioned the first pitch strikes for Kikuchi coming into this inning. He's thrown 7 first pitch strikes to 12 batters. And each of the guys he's faced this inning have seen first pitch strikes. So it was 5-10 before that. 3-2, down and in with the slider, ball 4. A fourth walk already today for Kikuchi with only one out in the third. As Adames jogs down to first.
In his last 3 starts combined, he's only walked 2.
Really just hasn't been much of a problem for him this year. Came into today with 15 walks and 72 in the third innings. Here's Rhys Hoskins, who walked in the first. 1-0 Toronto, bottom 3, the pitch. Foul tipped off the glove of Jansen, 0-1. Hoskins in the first year of a complicated deal with the Brewers. Could be a 1-year deal, could be more. 0-1. Called strike. Fastball right down the middle, 0-2.
I bet he wants that one back.
Yeah, he kind of looked over to third with some disgust for the sign. It's 97, but that's right down the middle. No balls and 2 strikes is the count. The pitch. Change-up, hit on the ground up the middle, past the glove of Bichette into center field. Not hit all that hard, but hit to the right spot. Claps at first by Hoskins. Runners on first and second for the Brewers with just one out.
Rhys Hoskins hit that off the end of the bat. That was a changeup actually off the plate outside. I think he got unlucky right there with the placement of Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette was shaded towards the hole on the left side of that infield, and it just gets past the outstretched glove into center field.
Just to wrap up on the Hoskins contract, gets paid $12 million this year, can opt in for $18 next year, or opt out and get $4 million to not play for the Brewers, and then has the same opt out on a mutual option the year after that. First pitch to Gary Sanchez, high and tight, ball 1. And Hoskins was a target, rumored at least, of the Blue Jays at one point. A guy discussed to maybe fill their DH role before the Blue Jays locked up Turner. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Huge hack by Sanchez, who stumbles over the plate. 1-1.
Rhys Hoskins would look pretty good in this lineup, I think.
Looks good in a lot of lineups. He's leading off first with Turner playing right behind him. DH day for Guerrero, Justin Turner at first. The 1-1. Sanchez cuts and misses another big swing. His helmet almost fell off his head. It's 1-2.
Well, I think that's the only way he knows how to swing is big, and that's why you can expand with him. That fastball was up out of the zone. He takes a huge hack. The helmet almost comes off. And now you can just bury something. Bury that back foot slider.
As a Yankee, Sanchez hit 6 home runs against the Blue Jays in 2021. 1-2. Low with a fastball. Sanchez lays off. Overall, Gary Sanchez has played the Blue Jays 75 times due to his long Yankee career. Hit 18 homers against Toronto as a major leaguer. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on with 1 out. Kikuchi steps off, looks at second. One out in the bottom of the third, and Kikuchi is up to 69 pitches already in the game. 2-2. Called strike 3. Froze him on a backdoor curve. Down goes Sanchez. 2 outs.
That was nasty right there. You can see the frustration Gary Sanchez's face. That pitch started off the plate and broke right back over the middle of the plate. Gary Sanchez just takes that slow walk back to the dugout. A big pitch right there.
For Kikuchi, his 3rd strikeout of the day. He needs quick outs here to try and at least make himself available for 5 maybe. Here's Blake Perkins, the switch hitting center fielder. First pitch from Kikuchi, another backdoor curve, called strike 1. Perkins with a rolling single to right in the 2nd. 2 runners on. Adames on 2nd, Hoskins on 1st. 1-0 Blue Jays. Bottom of the 3rd with 2 outs. The 0-1. Fastball cut on and missed. 0-2. Perkins, the switch hitter, bats better as a left-handed hitter than the right-handed side that he's batting at right now this season. Hitting .208 coming into this game, batting as a righty. 0-2 pitch. In the dirt, blocked off the chest by Jansen, and the runners will stay at their bases. Danny Jansen, among the best in Major League Baseball in blocking pitches.
Yeah, that was a big block right there. You don't want those guys going to 2nd and 3rd. And a base hit scores 2 runs.
Just threw his right shoulder and kind of the top of his chest in front of it. His 8 blocks above average. Our 2nd in Major League Baseball. Adley Rutschman 1st. And another step off by Kikuchi. One ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs, 2 on the pitch. Fastball popped up. Foul territory behind home plate. Jansen giving it a look, but that'll get into the seats. Kikuchi has dealt with multiple runners in each of the first 3 innings. Left the bases loaded in the 1st, stranded runners on 1st and 2nd in the 2nd. A walk and a single here in the 3rd. Adames and Hoskins on 2nd and 1st base respectively. A look at Adames, the lead runner. One more peek. The 1-2. Foul tipped into the glove. Strike 3. Strutting off the mound is Kikuchi after back-to-back strikeouts. He blanks the Brewers for a 3rd straight inning. He's left 7 aboard so far. 1-0 Toronto after 3. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
This is Kendall Rogers from D1 Baseball. Right now, we're breaking down the College World Series from every angle on the D1 Baseball podcast on the Sirius XM Podcast Network. Find out who will be standing tall in Omaha with me, Mike Rooney, Aaron Fitt, and Joe Healy all week long.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, this is a big mismatch. I mean, the talent discrepancy is huge.
It's college baseball at its best. To hear the D1 Baseball podcast today, plus exclusive SEC and ACC content, search D1 Baseball on the Sirius XM app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed strike 3 and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
And a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on Sirius XM Channel 89 and every morning on the Sirius XM app.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win your fantasy leagues right now on Channel 87.
Aaron Judge drills a 3-run home run.
From in-season fantasy baseball management to daily fantasy playoff basketball to reacting to the NFL draft, Fantasy Sports Radio is here to help you dominate.
Don't ever take a player that you don't intend to keep all year. Don't do it. It's terrible management.
Fantasy Sports Radio, your home for fantasy sports. Channel 87 and on the all-new Sirius XM app. Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win whichever fantasy sport you play. Right now on Channel 87 and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Radio Network.
It's the 4th inning presented by Bet365. At Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19-plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. 1-0. The Blue Jays lead the Brewers thanks to George Springer's leadoff single. And Springer, leading off the fourth, pops up the first pitch. It's in shallow left. The shortstop, Adames, makes the catch, 1 down. And not his leadoff single that gave them the lead, but rather his single with Dalton Varsho on second, back in the second inning. Blue Jays have threatened since, but left the bases loaded in the third. 1 down now, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa coming up. Carlos Rodriguez, the rookie, kicks and delivers. Inside, ball 1. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Devilishly good since Toronto first raised the trophy in '92. Join them for wings, ribs, beer, cocktails, and catch every play at your local St. Louis Bar and Grill. Download the app or visit stlouiswings.com for more details. Always devilishly good. Next pitch was a called strike, so it's 1-1, and now Rodriguez delivers way outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. 1-0 Blue Jays in Milwaukee. Out of town on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Philadelphia in the 9th leading Boston 4-1. 2-1 pitch on the inside edge, 2-2.
How about that Cardinal-Pirate game?
The no-hitter hasn't been broken up. It was going for a little bit for Skeens.
He gave up 4 hits.
2-2 is bounced softly, third base line, picked up by Contreras. Catcher spins in, throws it offline, and it would have been late anyway. An infield single for IKF. Or pardon me, it wasn't Skeens, it was Miles Michaelis who was pitching with a no-hitter. 1 hit through 7 for Michaelis. 4 hits given up, but no runs by Skeens through 6 1/3. 0-0 in that game. So IKF aboard here, 1 out, and Kevin Kiermaier coming up to the plate. The pitch. Fouled off the back foot of Kiermaier, who screams, drops his bat, and is writhing in pain on the ground right now. He's holding his knee, so it must have hit him a little higher on the leg than I thought. But John Schneider and Voon Chang out of the dugout to check on Kiermaier, who's limping outside of the dirt circle.
Yeah, that's not a good sign right there. Kiermaier was rolling all over the ground, holding that knee. It actually looked like it hit him in the knee, though.
Taking a second look now, and it skimmed off the inside of his front knee and then hit the back leg. And that is like no muscle, no fat, all bone on that inside of your knee.
Well, he's wearing that ankle guard that goes about halfway up that shin bone, and it hit just above that ankle guard.
He's stretching out right now, walking around, some high knee steps, shaking out both his legs. He's walking toward the bat, so it looks encouraging, but Davis Schneider is also up right now in case the Blue Jays need a replacement. Kiermaier picks up the bat, takes some practice swings, squats down, gives a nod to Voon Chang and John Schneider. He'll continue, which is good news for the Blue Jays. Quinn Walcott, the home plate umpire, giving him a second here to make sure that Kiermaier's okay. Some claps from the Milwaukee crowd, and now Kiermaier back in the box. 1-0 Blue Jays. IKF leading off first. Rodriguez, the rookie watching him, now comes set. And with 1 out, the 0-1 pitch. Bunt shown, pulled back. Pitch called, the ball looked pretty good. 1-1.
I like that play right there, or at least the attempt. Third baseman Monasterio is way back, and now he's in, but before this pitch, he was way back.
1-1. Kiermaier showing bunt again, pushes it up the third baseline. Fielded by the pitcher Rodriguez. Throw to first. And it's bobbled on the transfer by the first baseman Hoskins, but it is an out. That was a tough play for the 22-year-old pitcher in his debut. He gets Kiermaier, who is jogging a little bit gingerly, back to the dugout.
That was a very, very good bunt and a very good play. Very confidently made that play, fielded that ground ball, and made a perfect throw to Rhys Hoskins at first base.
That's the 4th sacrifice this year for Kiermaier. His career high is 5 in a season. Here's Spencer Horwitz with a runner on second, 2 outs. The pitch. Called strike 1. I don't know that he was intending to sacrifice, but it goes down as 1 as the runner IKF moved up to second. Now Horwitz can drive in a run with a single, 1 for 2 today. A look at second in the 0-1. Called strike on the outside edge, 0-2. Horwitz adjusts his helmet. Now 2 hands on the bat. He'll turn back and ask for time. Rodriguez hadn't realized he was looking at second. Now he does, and walks down the back of the hill. Blue Jays have left 3 runners in scoring position in the last 2 innings combined. Runner on second, 2 down. The 0-2 pitch. High, and a snap throw back to second. Bounced in by Contreras. IKF dove back, but he was in there easily. That's a risky play from the young catcher.
Well, that was a terrible throw. That bounced about 15 feet in front of the bag at second base, and Willy Adames had to make a pretty good play to stop that ball. I think it bounced twice before it got to second base.
Now the 1-2. Outside 2-2. And you just wonder about the risk reward there. I mean, the odds you backpick a guy to second are pretty low. And the odds you throw it into center field feel almost equal, and that would give IKF, 90 extra feet. 2-2. Swing and a liner, right center field, down for a base hit. IKF around third, he'll score without a throw. RBI single, Spencer Horwitz, 2-0 Blue Jay lead. Horwitz reached down for a curveball low of the zone and got enough of it to shoot it into right to double the Toronto lead.
Well, that was a tough pitch right there from Carlos Rodriguez, but Spencer Horwitz is such a pro up there. Finds a way to dump that thing in front of Jackson Chourio in right field, but I'm telling you, this kid is playing well beyond his years.
That's going to be it, though, for the right-hander Rodriguez. After 71 pitches, 2 runs allowed in 3 2/3 innings. His day is done in the bullpen, out early for the Brewers. Let's go back to baseball control with Toronto up 2-0. Here's Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. And before we check the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, don't forget we do have Jays Talk tonight. Blair and Barker are on standby for the post-game show. Blair will throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out. All right, on the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. The Bisons were taking on the Woo Sox in the minors tonight. Yariel Rodriguez making another rehab start. He went 4 innings. He allowed 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk. He punched out 10 in the 15 batters that he faced. He threw 67 pitches, 46 of them strikes, so good news. Also, the Bisons were also called the Malmo Oat Milkers tonight, which apparently is a Swedish oat milk company. So the more you know, one could say Y-Rod was outstanding. Perhaps. It's so dumb. In the world of golf, the U.S. Open starts this week, and it will not feature 2-time major champion Jon Rahm. He announced today he is withdrawing from the tournament due to an infection on a sore on his foot. Yikes. So he will look to next compete at the Open Championship in July. And Stanley Cup playoff action. No hockey tonight, but the Florida Panthers up 2-0 in the Stanley Cup final on the Oilers. The Cats winning 4-1 last night. Game 3 is Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific on Sportsnet. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Back to the action we go. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Show. With 2 outs in the top of the 4th and the Blue Jays up 2-0. Elvis Peguero takes over for the Brew Crew. Toronto recently adding to its lead. Spencer Horwitz's RBI single drove in Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Here's Danny Jansen with Horwitz leading off first. Peguero, the righty, looks into the plate and the pitch. Called strike 1 on a sharp slider at 89. Peguero, the righty, making his 27th appearance of the year. ERA just above 3. 24 strikeouts, 13 walks in almost 27 innings. His 0-1. Swing and a bouncer left side, backing up the third baseman Monasterio. Long throw on a hop to first, and Hoskins can't make the pick. It took an awkward bounce on the lip of the infield grass right where it meets the dirt. Hoskins did well to block that ball, but I think it'll go down as an infield single for Jansen because it really backed up Monasterio.
Yeah, Monasterio did a good job of throwing that baseball on a long hop, but Rhys Hoskins, I think Rhys Hoskins needs to make that play. You think it hit the lip?
I don't think it did, actually, on second look. I think that took a lower hop than I was expecting as Guerrero swings and misses strike one. But you might have a point. It looked like a more makeable play on second look.
Well, I have the benefit of that slow-mo replay. You're calling it while it's happening.
They do say E5, by the way, as Guerrero swings wildly at a second slider down and away. Two of the same misses. It's 0-2. That is a bit of a tough luck error, though, for Monasterio, who at least gave them a chance. First and second, 2 down, the pitch. Down and away, Guerrero lays off the slider for the first time, 1-2.
I don't know how scoring really works, but I guess once that throw hits the ground, it's an error.
It's always the throw.
Yeah.
Step off from the pitcher, Peguero. Yeah, you could give a guy the easiest pick in the world, but the way that scoring convention goes, if you bounce the throw, it's on you. 1-2. Outside with a heater at 97. Brewers will ask a lot out of their bullpen today. Peguero, the first to enter here in the fourth, throws a low 90s slider and a high 90s four-seamer. 2-2. Swing and a bouncer, hit to third base, picked up by Monasterio. Throw on the fly to first in time to get Guerrero and end the inning. A run for the Blue Jays on 2 hits, 1 error, 2 left for Toronto, but they lead 2-0 middle of the fourth. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
So Blue Jays fans, you want to know about salsa? Salsa is more than dancing. It's more than music. Salsa is the passion and spirit that is at the core of the beautiful cultures of Latin America. The Blue Jays are bringing salsa to the ballpark. On June 27th, be one of the first 15,000 fans in attendance and receive a Blue Jays chip and dip bowl. Celebrate salsa and create core memories with your Blue Jays. It's salsa night. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com. Right, Vladdy?
Everybody salsa. Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between Pizza and inflation. First to the plate, Pizza's big hitter, fixed rate pizza. An extra large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. I dare say, folks, inflation stands no chance against this all-star. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for fixed rate pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizza.ca.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
This is Jose Berrios, and you're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermark broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali, our host and producer today, Tom Young, our technical director. We motor on to the fourth inning with the Blue Jays up 2-0. Spencer Horwitz added to the Toronto lead with a 2-out RBI single in the fourth. Yuse Kikuchi tries to have a quick bottom of the fourth inning after throwing 75 pitches through the first 3. He starts with the rookie Jackson Chourio, 8-9-1 for Milwaukee. Turang and Monasterio to hit this inning as well. Left on right pitch. Fastball high, 1-0. Kikuchi has left 7 on in the first 3 innings. While the Blue Jays have squandered some opportunities, Milwaukee is feeling the same way and then some. 1-0. Called strike. In both of the first 2 innings, Milwaukee had first and second, nobody out, and did not score. They had first and second, 1 out in the third, and did not score. The 1-1. Swing and a fly ball off to the right foul, 1-2.
Yeah, the Blue Jays have 7 hits and only 2 runs.
And the Brewers, I mean, they don't have as many hits, but they have 3 hits, 4 walks, and no runs. 1-2 pitches low, 2-2. So it's been maybe not a high-scoring game, but certainly not a quick one, despite the lack of runs and the pitch clock. Kikuchi's 80th pitch. Hit on the ground left side on a short hop, picked up by IKF. Sidearm throw to first to Turner. 1 out.
Well, if Kikuchi could get through this inning maybe on 10 to 12 pitches, he'll probably come back out for the 5th.
When they've hit the ball, they haven't hit it very hard. There's just been a lot of walks today.
Yeah, he's been a little bit erratic with his fastball, falling behind hitters, something that he really hasn't done this season. So if he can skate around trouble and
first pitch to Bryce Terang outside 1-0
and maybe get through 5, I say that's a win for Yuse Kikuchi.
Blue Jays up 2-0, 1 out, home half of the 4th. Left on left pitch to Terang. In there, 1-1. Mentioned yesterday, Terang, he was the leadoff hitter yesterday, batting 9 today because it's a lefty. He's kind of your old-fashioned prototypical leadoff hitter, 1-1. Line to left field. Varsho on the run, makes the catch. 2 down. I was trying to find a way to quantify that a little bit. And for Terang, if you look at the last 20 hits he's had, the launch angle is 1 degree, which basically means they're all hitting to the ground. In Major League Baseball, the average launch angle on a hit is 12 degrees. He is kind of a slap hitter, puts the ball in play, uses his speed, and tries to force you into making bad plays on defense. Here's the leadoff hitter today, Andrew Monasterio, top of the order. First pitch high, 1-0.
Well, that was an incredible launch angle on that last one. Let's find out what that launch angle was on that last one from Terang.
It'll be a lot higher than 1 degree. It was 24.
Nice.
1-0. Outside with the curveball. But Terang hitless so far in the series. After that out, he goes to 0 for 5. He does have a walk and a run scored yesterday. 2 balls and no strikes, 2 outs. And the pitch from Kikuchi to Monasterio. Curveball in there. This is the first time today that Kikuchi has gone to 2 outs without a base runner, reaching first. He's trying to get his first 1-2-3 inning, facing the 0 for 1 Monasterio. 2-1 pitch is a fastball in the zone, 2-2. And the velocity has diminished a little bit for Kikuchi, up above 80 pitches, approaching 90. That fastball at 94. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him on a slider in the dirt, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Kikuchi. We go to the 5th. Blue Jays up 2-0. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hear all the action of the U.S. Open on Sirius XM 92.
Right on line. A hole out eagle at the first for Scotty Scheffler.
A course as challenging as it is historic awaits the best in golf as they compete for our national championship.
So hard to get the ball up and down. That's the thing that makes this golf course so difficult.
Sirius XM's exclusive coverage of the U.S. Open, live from Pinehurst Country Club, begins Thursday morning at 7 Eastern on Channel 92 in the car and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win your fantasy leagues right now on Channel 87.
Aaron Judge drills a 3-run home run.
From in-season fantasy baseball management to daily fantasy playoff basketball to reacting to the NFL draft, Fantasy Sports Radio is here to help you dominate.
Don't ever take a player that you don't intend to keep all year. Don't do it. It's terrible management.
Fantasy Sports Radio, your home for fantasy sports. Channel 87 and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on Sirius XM. We're back on the track Sunday,
6 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Iowa Corn 350, powered by ethanol.
From Iowa Speedway.
Yeah.
On Sirius XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90. In the car and on the all-new Sirius XM app. Yeah. Get closer to everything that moves you wherever you are with the Sirius XM app.
Let's make some smoke and drink some beer. Yeah.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's the 5th inning, brought to you by Desjardins Financial Group. Desjardins awarded another 150 grants worth $20,000 each to entrepreneurs across Canada. See how Desjardins cheered on small biz at goodsparkgrants.ca. I'm Ben Schulman. To my left is Chris LaRue. The Blue Jays are up 2-0 on the Milwaukee Brewers. A first quick inning for Yuse Kikuchi in the bottom of the 4th, and now Toronto with the heart of the order up, trying to make Milwaukee pay here. It's Bichette, Varsho, Turner, 4-5-6 for the Blue Jays. Elvis Peguero, the reliever, in for his second inning, starts Bo off with a slider for strike one.
I didn't ask you, what do you think of the Brewers City Connect jerseys?
I like them a lot.
I like them a lot as well.
The Brewers have great stuff. The 0-1. Called strike 0-2.
I believe their City Connect logo is an actual grill, like a barbecue grill.
I think you're right.
Which is pretty sweet.
0-2. Outside. The only thing, if I were to nitpick, that I don't love is the cap says MKE. Those are just not the three letters I think of when I think of Milwaukee. I'm thinking MIL all the way. 1-2 is a swinging bunt, actually over the mound, and it's bobbled in the middle of the field by the second baseman, Terang. Willie Adames, the shortstop, cut in front of him. That ball ended up hopping a little bit quicker than it looked off the bat, but Adames, I think, kind of pulled off a screen on Terang, who couldn't make the play, and Bichette's on first.
Well, Bo Bichette will gladly take that. He didn't hit that hard at all, just a bouncer kind of up the middle. And you're right, I think Terang and Adames kind of got in between each other, and Adames ended up going in front and making almost blocked Terang there.
First pitch to Dalton Varsho is hit in the air, left center field. Perkins going back, waves his arms on the track and makes the catch before whipping it back into the infield. 1 out. You were talking about the hit total for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 4th. That was Bichette's second and the team's 8th to start the inning. Now 1 out. Toronto up 2-0. Justin Turner coming to the plate. He has a hit today. He's 1 for 2. 6 of the 9 Blue Jays already with base hits. Here in the top of the 5th, 2-0 Toronto. Right on right pitch. Fastball for strike 1.
Peguero's number 59. I can't help but think of John Axford.
Great Canadian Brewers closer. We'll say I like the jerseys a lot more now than the ones that Axford had to wear. 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Turner will step out of the box, adjust his batting glove, step back in. Brewers went back to that glove logo, ball inside. 0-2. Swing and a bouncing ball right side, sliding stop at first. Hoskins gets up, throws to second, one back to first for a 3-6-1 double play as Peguero, the pitcher, covered the bag. A nice play by the Brewers defensively to end the top of the 5th. Middle 5, 2-0 Blue Jays. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on Sirius XM. We're back on the track Sunday,
6 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Iowa Corn 350, powered by ethanol.
From Iowa Speedway.
Yeah.
On Sirius XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90. In the car and on the all-new Sirius XM app. Get closer to everything that moves you wherever you are with the Sirius XM app.
Let's make some smoke and drink some beer. Yeah.
The South Carolina Gamecocks are on top of the women's college basketball world yet again.
Perfection for South Carolina. 38 games, 38 wins.
We're and talking to the biggest names right here on Channel 374.
Congratulations, Coach Saley. What does this particular title mean to you?
This title is pretty special because it was unexpected.
Keep it locked into Sirius XM SEC Radio as we continue to break it all down and celebrate the Gamecocks' 3rd national title.
The most important person in sports is you, the fan.
Let me tell you something. I'm a real fan.
And your place for sports talk is Mad Dog Sports Radio, where your voice is heard all day long.
I couldn't wait to get into the truck, turn on 82.
Share the thrill of victory.
The joy, the jubilation. I can't stop smiling.
And the agony of defeat.
When is this franchise going to realize people really care about this?
Passionate sports fans call 888-MAD-DOG-6.
You gotta love sports.
Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82, or anytime on the Sirius XM app.
The Blue Jays are in flight, leading 3-0.
Blue Jays fans, this is Ross Atkins, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on Sirius XM.
That radio network.
Welcome to the Timbermark broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman. To my left, Chris LaRue, Show Ali, our host and producer, Tom Young, our technical director. 2-0 Blue Jays as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Yuse Kikuchi, still on the mound for the Blue Jays, enters the fifth on 88 pitches. He'll face 2-3-4 for the Brewers. William Contreras, Christian Yelich, and Willy Adames. The pitch to Contreras is cut on and missed. Strike one. While Kikuchi has struggled with control today, 4 walks, they have not made a lot of contact. 14 swings and misses so far. One pitch inside, 1-1. That's right up there with the most swings and misses. It's second to his last start where he went over 20, but that was very high for Kikuchi. Double digit is a good spot for him. 1-1. Hit on the ground, tips off Kikuchi on the mound, runs to pick it up, throw over to first on the run for the out. Hopefully Kikuchi's all right. He clipped that ball to knock it down and made an athletic play. He both said he was okay and asked for them to come out. It's been a tiring day, and you almost wonder.
It's confusing.
Yeah, you almost wonder if, hey, you know, this is a free mound visit, an injury mound visit, doesn't count against you. So for Kikuchi, in a pitch clock game, he can get 30 seconds for free here with the team coming out to look at him.
That was actually a really athletic play. That ball bounced away maybe 5 or 10 feet, and he ran after it, made the throw on the run. No gold glove, but it was a great play right there.
Kikuchi, a two-way player in his high school days, and a very successful one back in Japan. He throws one warm-up pitch, gives the thumbs up to Jose Ministral, the head athletic trainer, and to John Schneider. He's good to go. Kikuchi at 91 pitches after the first out. Former Brewer Trevor Richards is warming up for the Blue Jays. Richards got up yesterday but did not come in. So 1 out, nobody on, bottom of the fifth. Here's Christian Yelich. 0 for 2 today. First pitch strike with a curve. After the 2 outs today, Yelich 0 for 6, 3 strikeouts against Kikuchi career. 0-1, bounce to the plate.
Well, you have to imagine, even though Christian Yelich is a very good hitter, it's a tough matchup. Left on left, a guy almost impossible to see that baseball out of the hand.
The 1-1. Swing and a bouncer. Hit at the shortstop Bichette. Backhands it. Rifles to first. 2 down, and let's look at the injury report. Brought to you by Bergmanis. And you're striking out with your insurance company. Get ahead of the count and call Bergmanis Prero Personal Injury Lawyers. You focus on getting better, and Bergmanis Prero will take care of the rest. Visit bplawyers.ca. Yariel Rodriguez making another rehab appearance today. Man, was it a good one for the Cuban right-hander. He went 4 scoreless innings, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk. He punched out 10 batters in 67 pitches. Kikuchi's first pitch to Adames, outside ball 1.
10 strikeouts on only 67 pitches is pretty good.
He got 12 outs, and 10 of them were strikeouts. Kikuchi with 5 strikeouts today. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, the Bisons would end up winning that game over the Worcester Red Sox 3-2. A run in the 8th and a run in the 9th to come back and win. 1-1 pitch is hit in the air, center field. Playable for Kiermaier, who started back, races in, and makes a two-handed catch to end the inning. He's dealt with some trouble, but 5 scoreless for Yuse Kikuchi. The Blue Jays up 2-0, headed to the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Show your pride in the heart of Toronto and create core memories. Join us at the ballpark on Friday, June 14th for Pride Night, presented by TD, and get your Blue Jays Rainbow Rope corduroy hat. At the core of who we are. Celebrate Pride and enjoy great Pride Night activities around the ballpark. On Friday, June 14th, arrive early to get your Blue Jays Rainbow Rope corduroy hat giveaway. Pride Night, presented by TD. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
We're 2 men in a truck, the movers who care. You never know when cardiac arrest can happen. That's why each and every one of our trucks carries a life-saving Mikey defibrillator as part of our Mikey on Board program. Whether we're on the highway or in front of your house, we're prepared to help anyone whose heart may skip a beat. The Mikey Network has saved many lives, making Mikeys accessible to the public. And now they're on board our trucks. We're 2 men in a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care. The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Hey, this is Bo Bichette. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Top of the 6th inning in Milwaukee, the Blue Jays holding on to a 2-0 lead and a new pitcher for the Brewers. Jared Koenig takes over, the 6'5" left-hander, into the game for the bottom third of the Toronto order. George Springer, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and Kevin Kiermaier to hit for the Blue Jays. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Appreciate you tuning in today. Springer is 1 for 2 with an RBI single. First pitch from Koenig popped up. Right side foul and behind the Brewers dugout into the seats. 0-1. Koenig is the 3rd Brewers pitcher so far today. Starter in his debut, Carlos Rodriguez, gave up 2 3 2/3. Elvis Peguero pitched a scoreless inning and a third. 0-1 pitch. Cut and a miss by Springer on the changeup. 0-2.
Koenig's got incredible numbers. 6-1 with a 1.84 ERA.
He's really funky. You'd think a 6'5" guy over the top hard fastball, but he steps way toward first base and sidearms it in. 96-mile-an-hour heater on the inside edge. Strike 3 looking against George Springer. 1 down.
And you're right. He's funky, and he's got that decent fastball. 95, 96. That's tough to hit right there.
That one a little bit harder than usual. He averages about 94 on the year, has a low 90s cutter and a low 80s curve. Very occasional change.
Well, he's pumped up. He's playing the Jays.
Oh, yeah. For Koenig, it's kind of a miracle in some ways that he's even at this point with his road to the majors. Lefty looking in, deals to Kiner-Falefa, misses inside 1-0. This is a guy who went to 3 different schools: Cal State Monterey Bay, Central Arizona College, and Old Dominion, and went undrafted, unsigned out of college. 1-0. Swing and a pop-up. First base side foul. Hoskins racing toward the dugout, makes the catch on the dirt. 2 down. Koenig ended up playing in 5 different independent leagues, including in Australia, where he was discovered by the A's. Debuted for them in 2022. Spent all of last year in the Padres system and has ended up on the Brewers this year.
And he is thriving.
Yeah. At 30 years old. 2 down, and now he gets a left-on-left matchup with Kevin Kiermaier. Base is empty. Top of the 6th. 2-0 Toronto. 6-foot lefty kicks and delivers. Curveball in there, 0-1. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill Out of Town scoreboard, a final from earlier today. The Tampa Bay Rays beat the Chicago Cubs 5-2. Tampa Bay now a half game back of Toronto, 0-1. Swing and a pop-up left side foul. Third baseman Monasterio running onto the side warning track, makes the catch and ends the inning. A strikeout and a foul pop fly on both sides of the field. An easy 1-2-3 for Koenig in the top of the 6th. Middle 6, still 2-0 Blue Jays. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rush Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hear what happens when over 70 of the biggest names in talk, sports, and entertainment press play on their favorite songs and share the stories behind them.
It's about the pain and misery of someone breaking up with you and then moving on with someone else.
Hear exclusive guest DJs from Howard Stern, Kate Hudson, Kevin Hart, Max Crosby, and many, many more.
Take it to the flow now.
Find them all in the SiriusXM app.
Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your SiriusXM subscription?
What?
Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on SiriusXM Channel 89, or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. SiriusXM Sports. We're more than just a game.
The club season may be over, but now the real fun begins.
Shoot Bellingham!
Nicola Morella gives Italy the lead.
Kylian Mbappe!
Europe's top nations meet in Germany for the chance to be called European champions.
Ronaldo, brilliant goal!
Goal off the post. Spain leads. Toni Kroos has scored.
Euro 2024 kicks off June 14th on Sirius XM FC 157 and Fox Sports 83, or listen anytime on the Sirius XM app.
The UFC is on SiriusXM. Hear all the action live from the Octagon every weekend on SiriusXM Fight Nation Channel 156.
At Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermark broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Bottom of the 6th inning, Blue Jays up 2-0, and the start of Yuse Kikuchi is over. The lefty goes 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. He leaves for now in line for the win with Toronto up 2-0. Nate Pearson taking over. But more importantly, Chris, the sausage race has just been run, and Italian is the winner today.
I knew you'd say something about that.
I got more than that in just a second. First, Pearson making his 27th appearance of the year, a 4.62 earned run average. Righty deals to Rhys Hoskins, misses outside 1-0. I got to say something about it, because 2 days ago, you had posed the question to me about the Blue Jays. If they had a race, what would it be? I told people to text in, and I dropped the ball. I forgot to mention the people's text with Show Ali gave over to me. 1-0. Called strike. Pearson gets a break on the outside edge. 1-1.
Well, let's hear the list.
So some of the text from 2 days ago, a loony dog race, so different hot dogs. I guess you could have like a mustard ketchup relish, maybe a chili dog. 1-1. Curveball drops in, 1-2.
That's not really Canadian, though.
No, it's just kind of Blue Jay.
Yeah.
Someone said a pea-meal bacon sandwich race, which, again, I guess it's just 4 pea-meal bacon sandwiches in a row. Which, again, it is Canadian bacon, if you were to ask an American. But the look on your face was not super into that. 1-2 slider hooked foul, still 1-2. I think this one you'll like. Ladama in Toronto said ketchup chips, poutine, maple syrup bottle. I do like that one. All Canadian foods. I think you need to add a 4th.
All dressed chips.
So you get all 2 chips. That's a 99 mile per hour fastballs hit back, still 2-2. You could have a beaver tail.
Or is two chips too many chips?
So you're saying all dressed instead of ketchup?
Well, no, I think ketchup is more Canadian than all dressed chips.
Although both are Canadian. If you show an American all dressed, they are very confused.
And both very tasty.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got Hoskins on a curve. 1 down. Chris in Saskatchewan texted in a couple days ago. He said Beaver, moose, Canadian goose.
I like that one.
I do like that one. Again,
that one.
I'm looking for a fourth. I mean, you could go polar bear if you want to. I don't know. Like a loon is too close to a Canadian goose, I think. But I do like that one. Here's Gary Sanchez with 1 out. 2-0 Blue Jays, bottom 6. Curve in there, strike 1.
A raccoon?
You could go with a raccoon.
Toronto is known for their raccoons.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all, actually. I like that a lot. One more, and then we'll get back to serious baseball. Here's the 0-1 to Sanchez. Outside at 100, 1-1. Last one, Penny in Scarborough a couple days ago said Drake, The Weeknd, Geddy Lee. Now, you're going like hip-hop R&B, Rush. 1-1. Called strike 1 and 2. I feel like maybe you do one of Drake or The Weeknd. You get like rock with Geddy Lee or a Gord Downey. Maybe you throw like Bieber or Shawn Mendes in there for pop. And then
Ryan Reynolds.
There you go. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 100 outside of the zone. Chased that by Sanchez. 2 down.
Well, we've been joking around for 3 minutes, but Nate Pearson has very quietly put together probably his best 2 batters of this season with that fastball right there. Just blowing it by Gary Sanchez. Wow.
Pearson back-to-back swinging strikeouts to start this inning. Here's Blake Perkins, switch hitter, turned around left. First pitch heater, 99 at the knees, 0-1.
We've talked about this before, but sometimes he's 95, 97. Other times he's 99 to 101. His fastball is on point right now.
The 0-1. Fastball hit on the ground, up the middle into center field for a base hit. That was 99 down and in, but Perkins did a good job to poke it into right center. He's 2 for 3. By the way, Rogers has an exciting new national contest. Bring Stanley home to send Rogers customers and hockey fans from across Canada to the Stanley Cup Final in Edmonton. Rogers customers have the chance to win 10 VIP trips for 2 to attend Game 4 in Edmonton on Saturday, June 15th. Also includes travel and accommodation, plus premium viewing at a game day concert featuring Shania Twain outside Rogers Center. Visit Rogers.com/Stanley Cup to enter for your chance to win and for more details. Runner takes off on the first pitch, called a strike, throw down to second, not in time. Perkins steals the bag, but Pearson ahead 0-1 on Jackson Chourio. It's Perkins' 7th stolen base of the year. Went on first move on Pearson. And the Brewers have their first runner in scoring position since the 3rd. Threatened in the first 3 innings, didn't score. 2-0 Blue Jays, the 0-1. Swing and a miss on a slider down and away. 0-2.
That was nasty right there. With the open base, ahead in the count, you have to expand. Nothing over the heart of the plate right here from Nate Pearson.
Perkins leading off behind the baseline and about 5-6 steps off second. 0-2 to Chourio. Just lays off another good slider, breaking off the plate away. 1-2.
That's a good pitch right there. Trying to bait Chourio with that slider just off the plate. I would throw something similar right here.
2 strikeouts in the inning and a single allowed for Pearson. Runner on second after the stolen base. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3. 99 in on the hands. Gets Chourio. 3 strikeouts in a scoreless 6th for Pearson. 2-0 Blue Jays going to the 7th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
When Blue Jays starter Kevin Gausman is on the mound, you hear a lot of pops at Rogers Center. The pop of the ball hitting the catcher's mitt. The pop of the crowd as they cheer on another Gausman strikeout. But most importantly for Goss, the pop of his bubble gum.
Swing and a miss. Got him on the splitter again. One of the best at his craft.
Gausman loves his gum. So be one of the first 15,000 fans on Wednesday, July 3rd and get your Kevin Gausman bubblegum bobblehead. Get your tickets at BlueJays.com.
Not tomorrow, not someday. The home improvements begin today. It's game on with Timber Mart. Build that deck, raise that fence, landscape till your property is beautiful. Don't pay for 12 months on the Timber Mart deferred payment program. your locally owned, completely Canadian hub of building and renovation expertise. Get your Timber Mart credit card at participating locations and pay later, 12 months later. Conditions apply. Ask in store for details or apply at timbermart.ca.
We're two men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think two men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you own. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're two men and a truck.
Two men and a truck, the movers who care.
Hey, this is Chad Green. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
I was brought up in the front row, that fire and brimstone.
Spencer Horwitz leads off the top of the 7th for the Blue Jays, 2-0 Toronto in Milwaukee. Thanks so much for sticking around. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Koenig's first pitch for the Brewers misses inside 1-0. Second inning of work for the reliever Jared Koenig. The lefty retired the Blue Jays in order in the 6th on 7 pitches. Left on left, the 1-0. Called strike. Big day for Horwitz so far. 2 for 3. And his single in the 4th inning knocked in the second Blue Jays run. 1-1. Swing and a fly ball left center field and deep. Perkins back at the wall, reaches up and makes the catch. That's probably the hardest contact we've seen so far from Horwitz. Just misses an opposite field homer. 1 down.
Well, Spencer Horwitz made contact with that ball, and he kind of watched it just for a split second. I think he thought that he got it, but Perkins comes up with the catch right in front of that bullpen out there in left center. It was a good swing, though.
Hit it almost 370 feet, but to a deeper part of the yard. So there's 1 down. There's Danny Jansen. Called strike 1. Jansen 0 for 2 with a walk, reached on an error in the 4th. Mentioned earlier in the game, Jansen's got Wisconsin ties. Here's the 0-1. Called strike 2. Blue Jays catcher was born in Illinois, but grew up in Appleton, Wisconsin, which is right down the road from Green Bay.
He went to Appleton West High School.
You familiar?
No, I'm looking at his page right now.
Minor league team in Appleton. They were the Appleton Foxes at one point, a Mariners affiliate. They're now a Brewers affiliate, and they are the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. Oh-2. Called strike 3. Good fastball on the upper and inner corner of the zone. 2 down.
That was nasty right there. A tough pitch to hit. Even if you swing at that pitch, I don't know what you're doing with it.
So Jansen down. Quick peek at the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Big day for the Yankees. They're up 10-0 on the Royals. Top of the 7th inning. Out-of-town scores brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up. Swing and a ground ball hit to the left side. Picked up by the third baseman Monasterio. Throw to first in time. And that will end the inning. 6 up, 6 down for Koenig in 2 scoreless innings. It's still 2-0 Blue Jays at the 7th inning stretch. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between Pizza and inflation. First to the plate, with over 2 million sold, it's Fixed Rate Pizza, a hot and fresh extra-large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for Fixed Rate Pizza. Lock in yours today.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership or the Sportsnet Radio Network. Pitching change and some defensive changes for the Blue Jays. Up 2-0 in the bottom of the 8th. They go to the right-hander and former Brewer, Trevor Richards, for his 28th appearance of the year. Christian Yelich leading off. Again, a 2-0 Toronto lead. And a first pitch changeup misses down low, 1-0. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Appreciate you sticking around tonight. Blue Jays have held the lead since the second, but it's been close all day. 1-0. Fastball hit well. Left center field. Racing back Schneider and Varsho. It's off the wall. It caroms through the legs of Varsho, but Yelich will stop at second with a leadoff double.
Trevor Richards just throws that fastball right down the middle, 93 miles an hour, and Christian Yelich is so good at splitting that gap out there in left center. He hits the base of the wall just in front of that Brewers bullpen. Now the Brewers are cooking right now. Nobody out. Christian Yelich standing on second base.
And here's Willy Adames, 0 for 2 with a walk today. Had 2 hits and 2 RBIs yesterday. 2-0 Blue Jays, bottom of the 8th. Richards looks at second and delivers home. Fastball high, 1-0. These two are joined in their career history. They were traded together from Tampa Bay to Milwaukee in 2021 before Richards was dealt from Milwaukee to the Blue Jays in 22. 1-0. Changeup at the knees, strike one.
Yeah, Willy Adames didn't like that call. Having a conversation right now, but that was a good pitch. Just clipped the bottom of that strike zone.
That'll make it 1-1. By the way, on the defensive changes, Justin Turner out. Spencer Horwitz now at first. Here's the 1-1. Foul tipped back into the backstop, 1-2. IKF has moved from third to second base where Horwitz was, and Ernie Clement is in the game now in the spot of Turner. IKF holds on the runner Yelich at second. Nobody out. Bottom 8. 1-2. Is a changeup bounce off the chest of Jansen. He got just enough of it, directing it up the first baseline to keep Yelich at second. Richards in the set at the belt. Kicks, delivers. Change up, fouled back.
Adames just missed that pitch right there. Thing was right down the middle, fouling it straight back.
Richards with an ERA around 3.5 this year. Peaks at second. A long look. And the pitch home. Fastball way high, full count. Blue Jays had Chad Green on last inning, pitched a 6-pitch 1-2-3 7th. Now Richards here for the 8th. Righty nods, tucks the ball into his glove, belt high, the 3-2. High ball 4, big misses up top with a fastball. Adames, the tying run, takes a walk. First and second, nobody out, and Jansen out to the mound. Pete Walker's going to head out there as well.
That fastball right there was nowhere close, almost up around the head of Willy Adames, and Jimmy Garcia is now warming up in that Blue Jays bullpen.
Richards had been up twice and not come into a game earlier in this series, once today, once yesterday. Entered for the 8th. The whole infield is on the mound right now as Walker addresses Richards and Jansen directly. Really the first time the Brewers have threatened since early in the game. They had first and second, nobody out in the first. Ended up loading the bases with 2 outs, did not score. First and second, nobody out in the second, did not score. First and second, 1 out in the third, did not score. But until this inning, their only other base runner was a single in the 6th. Now here in the 8th, first and second, nobody out. Here's Rhys Hoskins, 1 for 2. Richards kicks and delivers home. Fastball lifted to the right side. Springer hooking toward the foul line, gets under it, makes the catch. Yelich tags from second, dekes, but does not go. Strong throw from Springer, bouncing into Bichette near third. And there's one out. That's a big out for Richards on one pitch.
Yeah, that's a good pitch right there. A tough pitch to Rhys Hoskins. You don't want to throw something over the middle of the plate, but Trevor Richards was able to get that fastball just on the inside part of the plate, and Rhys Hoskins pops it up to right field. It's a big pitch right here.
Pinch hitter now for the Brewers. They'll bring the left-handed batter Sal Frelick off the bench. Pinch hit for Gary Sanchez, who ends the day 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Frelick, a .254 hitter, got the start in center yesterday. First and second, 1 out. A look at second. Richards' pitch is a changeup high, 1-0. Part of the reason they lift Sanchez, Richards previously against Gary Sanchez had forced him to go 0 for 10 with 5 strikeouts. It's Yelich on second, Adames on first. 1-0 is a changeup way high and outside, 2-0.
And the one thing you don't want to do here is put the tying run in scoring position. It's one thing for him to be at first base, but you do not want him to get to second base.
Richards in the set. Looks at second. And offers. Swing and a miss. Frelick expands there on a fastball high on 2-0 and makes it 2-1.
Yeah, he did. He did Trevor Richards a favor right there. That was ball 3.
Frelick in his second season in the majors. 2-1. Change up, hit foul to the left. Frelick stumbling as he knocked that one foul. 2-2. American Family Field getting loud. The home Brewers have had a lot of chances today, but they have not found a way to cash in yet. First and second, 1 out, 2-0 Blue Jays, bottom 8. The 2-2 is hit in the air, shallow left. Routine for Schneider, moving toward the line, makes the catch. 2 down.
Big pitch right there. Fastball right on the inside part of the plate. Ties up Frelick. Frelick obviously looking something soft. But Trevor Richards with the big fastball. Here comes John Schneider to get him.
Jimmy Garcia's been loosening up, and they won't take any more chances with the 2 for 3. Blake Perkins coming up. Richards exits here with 2 outs in the 8th. The tying run on first. Yelich on second in a 2-0 Blue Jay lead. Let's go over to baseball control. Here's Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. Let's check the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Some scores from around Major League Baseball is where we'll start. Braves at Orioles. Baltimore blanking Atlanta 4-0. Jorge Mateo returning to the active roster off the concussion IL. He hits a 3-run bomb in the win. Phillies at Red Sox. Another day, another dominant performance from Zach Wheeler. 7 innings of 1-run ball. Kyle Schwarber, meanwhile, hitting 2 home runs for Philly in that win. Cubs at Rays. So Chicago was up 2-1 going into the bottom of the 9th inning at the Trop. Jose Caballero ties the game for the Rays with an RBI single, and Brandon Lau steps up, jacks a 3-run walk-off bomb. The Rays win 5-2. Current action right now, Yankees at Royals. New York dominating KC. Right now, Yankees up 10-0. Austin Wells with a 3-run shot at Kauffman Stadium. Marcus Stroman was on the hill today. He allowed no runs and just 4 hits through 5 2/3. Stanley Cup playoff action. No hockey tonight, but the Florida Panthers up 2-0 in the Stanley Cup final on the Edmonton Oilers. The Cats winning 4-1 last night. This series now shifts to Edmonton for Game 3. Puck drop will be Thursday night. That'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific at Rogers Place on Sportsnet. And some PWHL awards news today. Scarborough native and PWHL Toronto forward Natalie Spooner was named the Billie Jean King MVP, a league-high 20 goals and 27 points for her in 24 games. Toronto head coach Troy Ryan was named Coach of the Year, and Toronto goaltender Kristen Campbell was named Goalie of the Year after leading the PWHL with 16 wins and 3 shutouts. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action. Jimmy Garcia on the mound. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. Bottom of the 8th inning, big spot for Jimmy Garcia. Presumably in for a 4-out save. He takes over in the 8th with 2 down. Runners on first and second, and the Blue Jays up 2-0. Trevor Richards gave up a double and a walk, bounced back for 2 flyouts. And now for Garcia to send the Blue Jays back to the third base dugout. He needs to retire Blake Perkins, who's 2 for 3 with a pair of ground ball singles today. The righty Garcia peeks at second at Yelich, and the pitch is a fastball. Runner takes off, throw to third, not in time. Christian Yelich takes third base. A risky steal, a double steal for the Brewers, and now a single could very well tie this game.
Well, Blue Jays are taking a look right here. As soon as Ernie Clement put that tag on Yelich, he looked into the dugout. I don't know what they're going to do, but it looked pretty close over there.
It's a good throw by Danny Jansen to third. A good jump by Yelich, too. We haven't seen anything slow motion yet. In fast motion, it looks really close. Blue Jays decide not to challenge. So an 0-1 count, but second and third. 2-0 Blue Jays, bottom 8. Garcia kicks and delivers. Perkins swings and misses at the changeup. Pulled the string on him. 0-2.
And again, you have that open base at first base. You cannot throw anything in the heart of the plate. You have to expand here.
Brewers fans getting loud. Garcia's 0-2. Inside at 99. One ball and 2 strikes in this building, as loud as it's been all day. Perkins stands off the plate left side. 1-2. Hit in the air, left side, foul into the seats. That was 98 right down the middle.
Yeah, that's not where Jimmy Garcia wanted that pitch. You could see Danny Jansen standing up. They wanted that thing elevated. But Jimmy Garcia got away with one right there, right down the middle.
Perkins has 21 RBIs on the year. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him on the curve. Garcia puts down Perkins and ends the inning. The tying runs left in scoring position. We go to the 9th. 2-0 Blue Jays. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bobby Brown,
Johnny Gill,
Ralph Tresvant,
and Belle Biv DeVoe
all have one thing in common. New Edition.
Rediscover the boy band that defined a generation.
Their hits from the beginning
and massive solo successes.
New Edition Radio.
Throughout Black Music Month in the SiriusXM app.
And starting Thursday for a limited time
on Channel 79.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed, strike 3 and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
And a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on SiriusXM Channel 89 and every morning on the SiriusXM app.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, original specials, and much, much, much more. All baseball, every day, on your radio. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
In season or out of season, the #1 place for college sports is SiriusXM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
2-0 Blue Jays, top of the 9th. George Springer leading off for Toronto, and Noli Paredes delivers strike 1 on the inside edge, and the 9th is underway. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Paredes in his second inning of relief out of the Brewer pen. His 0-1. Down and in. Springer is the reason the Blue Jays are on top. His RBI single in the first, his 14th RBI of the year, made it 1-0. It's 2-0 now as Springer goes down to a knee, fouling off a 1-1 breaking ball. It's 1-2. Paredes got the Blue Jays 1-2-3 in the 8th and 9 pitches. Is 1-2. Fouled back. Fastball in on the hands, hit into the netting, and then clanking down onto the backstop. The righty Paredes winds and delivers. Outside 2-2. A deep breath from the 5'11" right-hander. Here's his next pitch. Bounce to the right side, foul. Somehow Springer covers a pitch way off the plate, down and away.
Yeah, that was a good job right there, staying alive. He knew that that's really the only thing he could do is foul that ball off, and he just gets a piece of it off the end of the bat.
So Springer's still up there. 2-0 Blue Jays, top of the ninth. 2-2 again in the dirt, ball 3. It's been a day of wasted opportunities, really on both sides. A ton of base runners left on today, 17 total. The teams combine to go 4 for 22 with runners in scoring position, although the Blue Jays 4 for 10. Milwaukee 0 for 12. 3-2. Inside ball 4, leadoff walk for Springer.
That's a good at-bat right there. Fouled off a couple tough pitches. I tell you what, that's a big run out there. A 2-run lead against this offense really isn't that much of a lead, although you do have Jimmy Garcia in the game.
But it is a top 5 offense in baseball.
Yes, sir.
Here's Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. First pitch is hit to right field in the air. Backing up, Churio makes the catch just in front of the track. 1 down. Springer still on first. And now batting in the spot of Kevin Kiermaier, came in defensively a couple innings ago, Davis Schneider. Schneider came on in the bottom of the 7th, made a diving catch, has yet to hit so far in this game. 1 out and a runner on first. Right on right from the stretch. Paredes' pitch. High ball 1 way up there. Good stab by Contreras, who leaped out of the crouch. George Springer on first base for the Blue Jays. Leads Toronto with 8 stolen bases this year. Has not been caught yet. 1-0. Called strike. Looked pretty high, but Paredes gets one there. It's 1-1. Into the set, Paredes at the belt. Twists and deals. Called strike 2. If you look around baseball, George Springer in rare company, one of 7 guys who has at least 8 stolen bases and has not been caught yet this season. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a looper down the left field line. Foul ball. Schneider reached for a pitch inside there. And it's still 1-2.
Well, I wouldn't mind if George Springer somehow finds a way to get to second base, especially with just 1 out. Getting to second base, getting into scoring position with less than 2 outs, that's a big deal in this 9th inning.
Blue Jays up 2-0. 1 out, top of the 9th. The 1-2 again. Swing and a ground ball left side. Picked up by the third baseman, Dunn. Options to second for 1. And Terang can't make the transfer, so it'll be a fielder's choice. Schneider stops at first with now 2 outs.
Well, that fastball from Paredes just ate up Schneider. Sorry, that was a slider. Ate him up on the inside part of the plate. Hits a weak ground ball to third base. Terang just bobbles it. I think they had him at first base if Terang didn't bobble that ball.
As it was hit right at Dunn, the third baseman. But the Blue Jays fortunate to keep the inning going. Here's Spencer Horwitz, 2 for 4 with an RBI. First pitch is high and outside, ball 1. Davis Schneider is 3 for 3 in stolen base attempts so far this year. He's leading off first, being held on by Rhys Hoskins. Right on left pitch. Horwitz takes down low, 2-0. Single to center and a single to left for Horwitz. 2-0 pitch way high and outside, 3-0.
You think Horwitz is going to get big here, try to hit his second career homer?
I think he's taken all the way.
Yeah.
First career homer came last year in Colorado. 3-0. High ball 4. That'll be a 4-pitch walk. Moving Davis Schneider into scoring position, and now 2 on with 2 outs for the Blue Jays.
He didn't even flinch at any of those pitches. Although most of them weren't really that close, but Spencer Horwitz has a great eye.
It's kind of hard to tell if he was taken all the way or not because he sees the ball so well out of the glove. Mound visit now as pitching coach Chris Hook is out to talk to Enoli Paredes, who's thrown 29 pitches, or make it 27 pitches, pardon me, in his second inning of work. 1-2-3 in the 8th, but he's walked 2 batters here in the 9th.
And again, I've said this a couple times, but that's a big run out at second base. There's a big difference between 2-0 and 3-0, especially with Jimmy Garcia in this ball game.
You get out of bloop and blast territory if you can add a third one on. Here's Danny Jansen, 0 for 3 today. He has been aboard twice. He walked in the 3rd and then reached on an error in the 4th, but 0 for 3. First pitch. Swing and a liner, left field line, down in fair territory, a base hit. Schneider tearing around 3rd, he'll score. Into 3rd base goes Horwitz, and Danny Jansen standing on 2nd with an RBI double. 3-0 Toronto, top of the 9th.
Well, that was just a hanging slider from Paredes. Jansen does a great job staying on top of that pitch. Hits a line drive down into the corner, and Davis Schneider comes all the way around from second base, scoring a huge run for this team.
5th hit for the Blue Jays in 11 tries today with runners in scoring position. First hit of the day for Jansen. And we'll see if Vladimir Guerrero Jr. can get on for the first time. He could really change this game with runners on 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. First pitch swinging, fouls it off to the right.
Yeah, why not get Jimmy Garcia out of this ball game, score those 2 runs? Runners on 2nd and 3rd, all it takes is a little base hit.
Guerrero 0 for 4 today after an 0 for 4 yesterday. Rare to see that in the last month from Vlad. Swing and a miss on an 0-1 fastball, 0-2. If you go to his last 19 games, yesterday was only the 2nd time he was held from reaching in some way or another. Reaching safely, not by error, but by walk or hit. 0-2, cut on and missed, strike 3. Guerrero goes down. That'll do it for the top of the 9th. The Blue Jays, though, add 1 on 1 hit after 2 walks. The RBI double by Danny Jansen makes it 3-0 Toronto. Headed to the 9th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between Pizza Pizza and inflation. First to the plate, Pizza Pizza's big hitter, fixed rate pizza. An extra large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. I dare say, folks, inflation stands no chance against this all-star. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for fixed rate pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizzapizza.ca. We're 2 men in a truck, the movers who care. You never know when cardiac arrest can happen. That's why each and every one of our trucks carries a life-saving Mikey defibrillator as part of our Mikey on Board program. Whether we're on the highway or in front of your house, we're prepared to help anyone whose heart may skip a beat. The Mikey Network has saved many lives, making Mikeys accessible to the public. And now they're on board our trucks. We're 2 men in a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Jose Barrios with a trio of strikeouts to end a scoreless 6.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball. Show Ali with you at Baseball Control. The Jays lead the Brewers 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning in Milwaukee. Don't forget, we do have Jays Talk tonight. Blair and Barker have the post-game show. Barker wants your calls. Jeff will throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out. You can chat about Kikuchi, the bullpen, the offense. Get to whatever you like on Jays Talk with Blair and Barker. Blue Jays Baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. The Jays lead the Brewers 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning in Milwaukee. Jimmy Garcia still on the mound. Here's Ben Shulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much. Joe Garcia searching for a 4-out save. Came on and struck out Blake Perkins to end the 8th. Now the Blue Jays give him one extra run to work with. It's 3-0. His first pitch at the bottom of the 9th misses inside to Jackson Chourio. 1-0. Garcia 4 for 5 in save opportunities this year. 1-0. Breaking ball whizzes in for strike one. This is the first time this season he's being asked to complete a save of more than one inning. 3 times this year he's pitched more than an inning, but not in save chances. 1-1 fastball hit foul, 1-2. Chourio, the rookie, 0 for 2, a walk and a strikeout. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a hot shot to third. Picked up on 2 hops by Clement. Throw over to first just in time. Pulled Horwitz into the baseline a little bit, but he stayed on the bag. And there's 1 out.
Good pitch right there from Jimmy Garcia. It looked like a strike and then breaks off to the outside part of the plate, almost on the black, and Chourio just hits it off the end of the bat.
Speedy outfielder, almost beat it out. But a good play by Clement. And here's Bryce Terang, another quick guy who's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Right on left pitch, low ball 1. 1 out, bases empty, bottom 9, 3-0 Blue Jays. It's been a low-scoring series so far. Brewers won yesterday 3-1. 1-0. Called strike, backdoored him with a curveball.
He's been good at that all season long, stealing a strike with that backdoor breaking ball.
He's got so many weapons. 1-1 is the changeup outside, 2-1.
And that's why I don't mind when lefties come up, just because he has that backdoor breaking ball and he throws it with so much confidence. And he throws almost 100.
2-1. Fastball at 96 hit foul, 2-2. He's got the fastball. He's got a couple different types of breaking balls. He has that changeup. Gives guys lots of different looks. With 1 out, the 2-2 pitch. Foul tipped into the glove. Strike 3. 97 on the hands. And there are 2 down.
He just blew it by Terang right there. Danny Jansen had the target elevated. Jimmy Garcia, like he's been doing all season, just hits that target. Good job by Danny Jansen holding on to that baseball.
That was the 4-seamer, not the sinker, so it stayed inside rather than breaking back over the plate. Here's Oliver Dunn, who entered the game as a pinch hitter in the 7th. He takes strike 1. Blue Jays up 3-0. Brewers down to their final out. Thus far, it's been a game of missed opportunities, especially for Milwaukee. 0-1. Check swing, change up low, appeal to third, no swing, 1-1. Brewers left 7 on in the first 3 innings. Had runners in scoring position with less than 2 outs in all 3 of those innings, but Kikuchi pitched out of trouble well. 1-1. Called strike. Buckles done on the changeup. 1-2. Blue Jays did just enough. An RBI single from Springer in the 2nd, 1 from Horwitz in the 4th, and an RBI double from Jansen in the 9th. Bases empty, 2 down, 3-0, bottom 9, and the 1-2 pitch from Jimmy Garcia. Low, 2-2. The big section of Blue Jays fans behind the third base dugout on their feet clapping. Toronto trying to force a rubber match tomorrow. Garcia set at the belt. Looks down, now looks to the plate. He rocks and fires. Just high, ball 3. Borderline pitch, but it was the right call from Quinn Walcott.
Well, I thought with that big zone all day long, that was going to be strike 3 at the end of this ball game.
Full count. 3-2 to Dunn. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the save for Garcia. He strikes out 3 of the 4 he faces, and the Blue Jays shut out the Brewers to even up this series. 3-0 the final score.
Well, Jimmy Garcia came into this ball game in the 8th inning. I think that was the biggest part, the turning point in this ball game. He comes in with 2 guys on, 2 outs, and strikes out Bryce Perkins. That was the biggest part of this ball game. It allowed the Blue Jays offense to score that extra run that they needed in the 9th inning. And then, of course, he comes out and finishes the ball game. You can't say enough about Jimmy Garcia.
He picks up his 5th save of the year, and the Blue Jays go back to 1 game below 500. We'll take a quick break, wrap this one up on the other side, and get you over to a winning edition of Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker. 3-0 the final score in favor of Toronto. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Not tomorrow, not someday. The home improvements begin today. It's game on with Timber Mart. Build that deck, raise that fence, landscape till your property is beautiful. Don't pay for 12 months on the Timber Mart Deferred Payment Program. Your locally owned, completely Canadian hub of building and renovation expertise. Get your Timber Mart credit card at participating locations and pay later. 12 months later. Conditions apply. Ask in store for details or apply at timbermart.ca.
Hey, this is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Blue Jays even up the series today with a 3-0 win over the Brewers. Set up a rubber match tomorrow in Milwaukee. Thanks for hanging around. Blue Jays Talk is coming up in just a second, but first I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Chris, an interesting matchup today. The veteran lefty Yuse Kikuchi against Carlos Rodriguez in his first career start. Let's go first to Kikuchi, who really struggled out of the gate. He allowed 2 walks, a hit in the first bases loaded, but got out of it. Allowed the first 2 to reach again in the second, got out of it. Allowed 2 to reach in the third with 1 out and got out of it. He grinded his way through, but found a way to 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts.
Well, I think grinding is the perfect word for what Yuse Kikuchi did today. He walked 4 guys, and his last 3 starts combined, we said this earlier, he'd only walked 2 total. He was erratic, to say the least, with all of his pitches. Throwing strike 1, I think, was a big struggle for him today. But look, when you throw 5 innings against one of the top offenses in all of baseball and give up 0 runs, there's really nothing to complain about.
On the other side, the Blue Jays facing the Nicaraguan right-hander Carlos Rodriguez. Toronto created a lot of traffic early. They didn't necessarily do a ton of damage, but George Springer and Spencer Horwitz come up with big hits for the Blue Jays, RBI singles in the second and fourth.
Yeah, it must have felt good for George Springer to get that to get that single, but Spencer Horwitz, such a confident player. He's a guy that just dominated AAA. When I see those numbers, especially the average in AAA, I know that those guys can be big league players. And if Spencer Horwitz is given the opportunity, and I know that they're going to give him probably at least a month to showcase what he can do, he's going to be fine. And he showed it today. He's just a professional hitter, takes tough pitches, and doesn't try to do too much with it. That's what I love most about Spencer Horwitz.
2 singles and a walk for Horwitz in 5 plate appearances. The Blue Jays led 2-0 for a lot of the game. Kikuchi done after 5. And the bullpen, for the most part, dealt with the Brewers pretty quickly. The biggest moment of the game probably came in the 8th inning. Trevor Richards comes in, leadoff double to Christian Yelich, a walk to Willy Adames. Then Richards does bounce back for 2 outs. John Schneider decides to go to Jimmy Garcia to start a 4-out save. Garcia's facing Blake Perkins after a double steal, the tying runs both in scoring position, and Garcia comes up with today's play of the game. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him on the curve. Garcia puts down Perkins and ends the inning. The tying runs left in scoring position. We go to the ninth, 2-0 Blue Jays.
Well, that was a fantastic call. I'm glad your voice is back.
Well, the pitch was much better than
but
the call.
the pitch and Jimmy Garcia came into a tough situation in the 8th inning. Trevor Richards walked a guy, gave up a base hit, and then obviously got those 2 outs. Jimmy Garcia comes into that ball game, and like he's done so many times this season, just confidently throws strikes and then throws that tough slider for strike 3, striking out his first batter of 3 in this ball game. And Jimmy Garcia is honestly, he's my star of the game.
Garcia with a big outing. Blue Jays helped him out as Danny Jansen doubled in a run in the 9th. Toronto wins 3-0. 3 runs on 9 hits for the Blue Jays. No errors. They left 9 on, but they had 5 hits with runners in scoring position. Milwaukee still without a hit with a runner in scoring position this entire series. They don't score on 5 hits, 1 error, 10 left on for Yuse Kikuchi, a 4th win to go to 4-5. Carlos Rodriguez 0-1 to start his major league career. And Jimmy Garcia picks up his 5th save in a 2-hour, 37-minute affair in front of just over 25,000 indoor at American Family Field in Milwaukee. The Blue Jays improved to 33-34. The Brewers are now 39-28, and it'll be an exciting rubber match tomorrow at 2:10 Eastern. Game coverage starting at 2. Chris Bassett and Tobias Myers face off. The Blue Jays look to stay undefeated in a 5th straight series in the rubber match coming up tomorrow. Hope you join us then and appreciate you tuning in tonight. For our technical director, Tom Young, host and producer, Show Ali, and my partner, Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Have a good night and get your thoughts heard because Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker.
But that win tonight in particular could have gone a couple of occasions. It could have gone in a lot of different directions. But the Blue Jays hang on for the win. And stop us if you've heard this before, but they are 1 game under 500. They will attempt to reach the 500 plateau tomorrow in the 3rd game of this series against the Milwaukee Brewers. The numbers, as always, 416-870-0590, star 590, 1-888-660-0590. Boy, the Jays had a lot of opportunities, especially in the 2nd and 3rd inning. Left the bases loaded, had the bases loaded with 1 out in the 3rd inning. Couldn't come through. But, there's just a lot of opportunities. Just looking at my scorecard, there's a lot of opportunities for both teams early in this game.
Yeah, look, I think it's sort of, when you got a couple dudes on the mound, one's making his first big league start and the other one is overthrowing, trying to make up for some timing issues, getting the ball out of the glove. When you say it's having some trouble, that's where it's starting. It's starting when he picks the leg up and starts down the mountain. It's the timing, getting the ball out of the glove so we can get the hand up high enough to have the same release point over and over and over again. You could just tell the secondary stuff was non-competitive a bunch of times. I know he made some decent pitches when he had to with the curveball there to get the punch out in 1 inning and the changeup to end the inning with the punch out. But for the most part, it was in a hurry with the secondary stuff. And sometimes, again, when you just don't have your best stuff when it comes to the secondary stuff, you're trying to overthrow. And I've said this to you a bazillion times. When he's throwing this hard, man, he's a handful. Would it have been better if he'd have had his secondary stuff and he could be a little bit more unpredictable? Absolutely. I would have got him a little deeper in the game. But that just goes to show you right now, because he's mechanically a little bit sounder than he used to be. If he has to, Jeff, he can muscle his way through a start, and that's exactly what he did.
Do you think that that explains the variance in speeds we saw in a lot of those pitches, a lot of the curves, like Danny and Joe were talking about, that they were, anywhere between 82, 84, 85, 86. I mean, there was just a huge variance, not a huge variance, but a variance in speed in those pitches. Do you think that's the result of a guy just not having his best secondary stuff tonight?
Absolutely.
Or do you think that might have been as much? It was more a case of that than intentional, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it wasn't intentional. I mean, look, when it's free and easy, he's got the right timing, ball out of the glove, and can repeat that and landing in the same spot and having the good, consistent finish. The ball's going where it wants to go, right? He can go arm side with the fastball. He can go up with the fastball. He can occasionally go into a righty with the fastball. And most of the secondary stuff are down. Right. When it's sort of up and away, he's missing arm side with it, and a lot of them breaking balls and sliders are non-competitive. That right there tells you that's sort of the red flag goes up, that the timing out of the glove is just not there. And again, the Yuse a year ago probably couldn't have got through the start, right, against a good team.
No, that's exactly what I was going to go next.
Yeah, I mean, he was 11 for 22 throwing strike one. He had 5 3-ball counts. That's not great, right? Again, it was, if you can just get the velocity in the zone, because it's really hard to hit, because a lot of the times most right-handed hitters don't see lefties throwing this hard. You can get through a start, and consistently, I think just the mechanics were there enough, and mentally he knew that, and so did Danny. Get big. Don't give him a small target. Get big. Set up right down the middle. Because of that velocity, you can get away with that, and this is sort of what happened. Again, you just give the lineup a chance to get the big hit. That's exactly what happened, right? I mean, the leadoff hitter, Horowitz, is having some quality at bats. Danny Jansen there had the add-on run, which is what John Snyder talks about all the time. Springer hit a ball the other way with an RBI. That's what you do, right? You take what the pitcher gives you with runners in scoring position. Vladdy's late again, right? This is what I said. I've been saying this forever. I know he's been through a little bit of a hot streak, but that fruition thing he does with his lower half, it's almost impossible to always be on time with your front foot. Tonight and last night, foot's in the air when the swing starts. That's why you're seeing more of the ground balls to the pull side, and he ain't getting to his finish. It's real simple, and that's why you're seeing a Tobacco left on the bases. Hopefully that turns around, because they're going to need him to get more of the big hits because of where he's hitting in the order. And if they got Horowitz, Jeff, leading off, it looks like he's going to get on base a ton. So Vladdy's going to come up with lots of traffic.
You know, that's Horowitz gets an RBI tonight. Danny Jansen gets the crucial add-on RBI. Kevin Horowitz leading off, Jansen hitting second. They're on base 6 times tonight. Twice by one walk for Danny, walk for Horowitz, couple of singles, double for Danny, an infield hit as well. That's if you're not going to be out there hitting home runs and slamming the ball off the wall, you need games like that from the top of the order. Yeah, I just thought. Listen, I thought this would have, and I told you when I saw the Brewers pull off that double steal, I went to a dark spot. As soon as that double steal happened, I thought, okay, this is where it's going to fall apart. This is,
Jimmy was on the mound. Have some faith, Jeff.
Well, this is a Jimmy that I do have faith in. This isn't 95, 96 mile an hour Jimmy. This is 97, 98 mile an hour Jimmy. I got faith in 97, 98 mile an hour Jimmy.
Other than Richards, the bullpen was good, right? Pearson come in throwing 100. I like the slow breaking ball. Don't abuse the slider, right? When he abuses the slider, it gives him more of a chance to throw one down the middle. That tends to be when he's getting hurt. If he's good glove side to the righties and into the lefties, because he throws as hard as he does, and the variance between the breaking ball and the fastball, he'll be really good. Chad Green, all of a sudden, right, the elevated fastball, the tunneling off of that elevated fastball, he's pitching with a lot of confidence. He's pitching ahead, which is a big deal. Trevor Richards having a tough time all of a sudden getting the changeup down. That's why you're seeing him starting to throw some more fastballs up with a little extra velocity, just trying to get through the innings. That's called, when you don't have your stuff, you got to battle through it. And Jimmy's been their best pitcher out of the bullpen all year, and nothing's changed here. So give the bullpen credit. They got some timely hitting. You say manned up when he had to man up. That's a big win for him.
Yeah, and he held it together with and kept everything intact with a very erratic strike zone from home plate umpire Quinn Walcott. I wouldn't say erratic; it was just bad.
Leagues. Awful.
Yeah, he's not. That was one of the worst. That was one of the worst balls and strikes game. And a credit to him, he sucked for both sides. But that was particularly bad. And again, kudos to Yuse Kikuchi for. Yeah, I think you're right. Last year's Yuse Kikuchi, he's gone in the third inning, maybe 3 1/3, 3 2/3. Sorry, the fourth inning. He's not doing what he did tonight. 416-870-0590, star 590, 1-888-666-0590. It's a winning edition of Blue Jays Talk. Brendan in Alberta, you are on Blue Jays Talk.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to talk to you about Yuse and the umpiring. I know you just went over it, but how critical is it that he maintains his composure when he throws those 2 fastballs at the bottom of the zone and doesn't get the call? Also, from the other side, when you're the hitter and you're getting that wide strike call against you early in the game, I'm like, how difficult is that when you're the pitcher or the hitter to just remain calm and try and get yourself back into the at-bat?
That's a great question. I'm going to turn it over to a
yeah,
hitter.
yeah.
Kevin.
It's impossible, right? I mean, that's what a minor league umpire looks like. He's big everywhere. He's not big just to one side. A lot of the times going into these games, you'll know, a lot of umpires will give maybe away to a righty a little bit. They won't give you in. They won't give you down, but they'll give you away. Like, specifically when you walk to the plate where he's big at. When the dude's big like he is tonight, and, sometimes it's a strike, sometimes it's a ball, it's impossible. And that's not the way big league umpire is supposed to look. And if you're a hitter, you got to battle. Those are the times where you got to look right down the middle. And when you get it, you cannot miss it. You have to put it in play and put it in play hard somewhere, because if you don't, as good as the pitching is, as hard as they throw, and as much as they tunnel the secondary stuff, and then you add on top of it, the umpire has as big a zone as that dude had, you're going to go, what were they, 0 for 14 runners in scoring position the Brewers were? That's probably what it's going to look like.
I don't think they've got a hit with runners in scoring position this series. Well, clearly they didn't, because they didn't yesterday, and they didn't. I don't think they did. Is that what Ben Shulman said? They haven't had a hit with runners in scoring position. The Jays had what? The Jays were 5 for 11, 5 for 12 today with runners in scoring position. And I would think too, for a hitter, Kevin, the other thing that would be frustrating is he also missed inside a couple of times as well on the hitters. He also missed inside. So I think guys are going up there. Again, you just want consistency. You want consistency.
Now, you think about the Brewers hitters facing a lefty that throws as hard as Yuse does. And they know walking to the plate, because they just watched their buddy being thrown the secondary stuff that was very non-competitive. So you know what you're looking for. You're zoning him up. You're getting real small with your window, because he's wild with his secondary stuff. So you're trying to be real fine with what you want to swing at. And then that dude expands you and calls something that's not close on a pitch that's, say, 97, 98. And now instead of you being on the offense, you're on the defense, because a dude is not a big league umpire. It is very frustrating. And it sometimes will put you in a funk, because now you're mentally and mechanically all out of whack, because you don't know what the strike zone is. So, yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where it's gut check time. You just got to look at yourself in the mirror, and hopefully you wad it up, throw it in the garbage, and hopefully, you don't see him again for a while. You can get back into what you're trying to do and stay in the big part of the field. But it's not the easiest thing to do on the pitching side and on the offensive side, because he was missing good pitchers' pitches too. So it's frustrating for everybody.
416-870-0590, 888-666-0590, star 590. It is a winning edition of Blue Jays Talk. The Blue Jays beating the Brewers 3-0, the second game of a 3-game series in Milwaukee. Tomorrow's finale goes at 2:10. Blair and Barker will be on the TV and radio with Blue Jays Talk following the game. Our coverage on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network will begin at 2 o'clock promptly. Adam in Toronto, you're on Blue Jays Talk.
Hi.
Hey, Adam.
Hi. So I'd like to talk about something that's been driving me crazy for years, and that is, ever since they instituted the ghost runner, how in the world have teams not learned to bunt in extra innings? The home team should be winning virtually every extra inning game.
See, thanks for the call. I think the way you play, and I think the way most teams play the extra inning games now, Kevin, with the ghost runners, if you're the visiting team, you got to try to score 2. Yeah. You got to try to score 2 runs. That's basically what you're doing. And that's why, to me, if I'm the visiting team, I'm not bunting. I don't want to give up an out to get a guy to third base, frankly. If I'm trying to score 2 runs, I would much rather try to. Now, home team's different. I agree with the caller. At home, if you're in the bottom of the 10th, I'm automatically bunting.
Well, I think it depends.
I'm automatically bunting, and it depends on the pitcher too, right?
Well, it depends on where you're at in the order too, right? 3, 4, 5 dudes that don't know how to bunt. You obviously ain't going to bunt there. Yeah, I mean it's situational. It's about the equipment that you got in your order, which would allow you to put certain plays on, right? I mean, you watch John Snyder when he puts hit and runs on. I mean, it ain't everybody. It's normally IKF and Kevin Kiermaier and, the Ernie Clements of the world, like the bottom of the order, guys that letting the ball travel, thinking middle the other way. Guys are not trying to bridge people with big giant swings. So you got to have the equipment. You got to, stop the other team from scoring, which would allow the home team to win it and walk it off. So, yeah, you got the right equipment. Absolutely. I mean, you do whatever it takes to win baseball games, but ain't no money in bunting. I mean, that's basically what this comes down to. I agree with the caller. I mean, it is all about winning, but there's got to be a benefit for these players to actually practice these things. I mean, most the batting averages now are in the low 200s.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously not any more about putting balls in play and getting hits. It's about doing damage. I mean, every time you hear a khaki talk or somebody that comes on our show that matters with these organizations, they always start with the same word, slugging. I mean, what are these teams slugging and these players slugging? So, yeah, I mean, it's make perfect sense. You're trying to win World Series, but a lot of players just don't know how to do it, and organizations don't really want them to do it.
416-870-0590, star 590, 1-888-866-0590. This is Blue Jays manager John Schneider talking about Yuse Kikuchi's start.
Kept his composure. Tight zone, and I thought he made really good pitches, had a great fastball tonight. And, when you're navigating traffic like that, pitch count kind of goes up. We were hoping for at least 5, and he did just that. But I think that, fastball was really, really good tonight against a good hitting team. And, as the game went, I think he really kind of paired his curve and slider well with it. So credit to him, and he had a really battle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kevin, I was just thinking as John Schneider talked, the 2 starts they've gotten back-to-back here from Barrios and Kikuchi, both battling starts. That's why, when I came on and I said it was a good game to win. Well, yeah, Captain Obvious. Every game is a good game to win. But when you lose a game the way you lost last night with your starter, Jose Barrios, really, really grinding it out, and then if you were to lose this game with another starter really, really grinding it out, like there are times where you do have to pick up the starting pitchers. That hasn't happened enough this year. But, again, I just can't say. I think this win tonight is going to sit really well with the Blue Jays. And, again, if they win tomorrow and they're 500, yeah, it's a rough stretch of games. But we spent the last week talking about this in Blair and Barker and in this show. Right now, 500 isn't the worst place to be. There are a bunch of teams that wouldn't mind being at 500 right now. It's a start. That's the way I look at it. It's a start.
Yeah, it puts a lot of pressure on your starting rotation, though, man. Like the lack of run support that these dudes are getting, and the things that they're trying to use to get through starts, right? I mean, you're going to have some starts where this thing ain't working. Like, it's no matter where I grip it, no matter where I land, that thing just ain't coming out the way I want it to come out. And then you got to overthrow a fastball to get it in the zone and get a bunch of swing and misses and get you through 5, and have a couple of 3 up, 3 downs in the 4th and 5th inning just to sort of save face there and turn it over to a pin with the lead. Again, if you're a Jays fan, man, because of the way they throw the ball from the starters, you close your eyes and pitcher. If you had a thumper right in the middle of that order that hit behind Vladdy, boy, you talking Jeff cooking with gravy. Boy.
Yeah,
one can dream, man. One can dream.
Yeah, it's you look at games like tonight, again, Vladdy. I'm not going to turn this into Hammer and Vladdy night. He did hit one ball really hard, and it was right at Willie Adames. It's an out, correct. And other than that, 3 ground balls to the pull side and a strikeout swinging. I mean, you look at that and the fact that this team was able to win again. It just gets back to me to credit to the top of the order for doing what they did. Man. You're starting to you're starting to see, I think, Kevin, I'm thinking of guys like Horwitz and Jansen, Varshall. You're seeing it a little bit. IKF. You're starting to see some of these complementary players. You can see how if you had another thumper in the middle of the lineup, it would help, because you are getting production from guys that you wouldn't expect to be guys who are carrying the team.
You're not asking them to carry it. You're just asking them to be themselves.
Exactly.
Because you have a thumper that can carry it. That's the whole point, and that's why we were on our show, and when we were doing our podcast and I was in spring training, what's the thumper at? Like, they've had 2 years to get this dude. I mean, where's he at? Like, the 39-year-olds and the $15 million for a utility third baseman and bringing back a guy that gets hurt a lot playing center field.
It does.
It just makes you scratch your head, man. That's all.
Yeah, we talk about how good the top of the order is, but it also says something that the first two guys in the lineup were on base 6 times and didn't score a run. That also says something, right? That in some ways sums up where the Jays are more than anything else. You've been begging, you've been pleading for games like that from dudes at the top of the order, and you get that tonight.
Yeah, your highest paid.
They're not scoring.
Your highest paid position player who plays right field's got 14 RBIs, and we're almost in the middle of June.
Yep,
that's not getting it done.
416-870-0590 star 590 1-888-666-0590 3-0. The Blue Jays beating the Milwaukee Brewers. We've got time for more calls. You want to talk about Yuse Kikuchi? You've already seen Yuse Kikuchi's name surface in some trade rumors. We saw big picture of Bo Bichette today on an MLB.com article on possible trades being made. So there's a lot to talk about. Talk about the game. Talk about those issues as well. It's Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Not tomorrow, not someday. The home improvements begin today. It's game on with Timber Mart. Build that deck, raise that fence, landscape till your property is beautiful. Don't pay for 12 months on the Timber Mart Deferred Payment Program. Your locally owned, completely Canadian hub of building and renovation expertise. Get your Timber Mart credit card at participating locations and pay later. 12 months later. Conditions apply. Ask in store for details or apply at timbermart.ca.
Bring it in, Canada. When it comes to small business, Desjardins is a big fan. And not just the hop-on-the-bandwagon fan. We're the in-it-for-the-long-haul fan. The fan that's been there from the start. That's why Desjardins awarded 150 entrepreneurs with Good Spark grants worth $20,000 each. Because like any fan, there's nothing we love more than celebrating a goal!
See how Desjardins is cheering on small business at goodsparkgrants.ca.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between Pizza and inflation. First to the plate, with over 2 million sold, it's Fixed Rate Pizza, a hot and fresh extra-large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for Fixed Rate Pizza. Lock in yours today.
Pizza.ca. We're 2 men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think 2 men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you own. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're 2 men and a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
Show your pride in the heart of Toronto and create core memories. Join us at the ballpark on Friday, June 14th for Pride Night, presented by TD, and get your Blue Jays Rainbow Rope Corduroy hat. at the core of who we are. Celebrate Pride and enjoy great Pride Night activities around the ballpark. On Friday, June 14th, arrive early to get your Blue Jays Rainbow Rope Corduroy Hat giveaway. Pride Night, presented by TD. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Hurts smacks it down the left field line. This one's got a chance. It's good!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Like from the start of spring training, this is kind of what we've come to expect. It is Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker. 3-0. The Blue Jays beating the Milwaukee Brewers, and the third game of the series is tomorrow in Milwaukee. That was John Schneider, the manager of the Blue Jays, talking about Jimmy Garcia, obviously. Kevin, I just want to, standings don't matter.
They do.
Yeah. But just to kind of reinforce in people's mind how goofy this season has been, we talked about it with David Sampson today. The Blue Jays right now are 2 games out of the last wild card spot. A couple of days ago, they had 6 teams between them and the spot. There's now 1, the Boston Red Sox, who are also 33 and 34. There are 9 teams in the American League under 500 right now. If you look at the MLB standings, and the category I like looking at is the last 10 games. Kevin, there are a bunch of 6-4s, 6-4s, 5-5, 4-6, 3-7. I mean, the only 2 teams that have really sort of that are stating their case in the last 10 games. Baltimore's won 5 in a row. They swept the Rays. I guess you can throw the Mariners in there. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games, and the Yankees are 8-2. And the Yankees look like, I mean, they look like they mean business.
Judge looks like a cartoon character. I mean, really. He had another home run tonight.
He's a cheat code. He's a cheat code right now.
It is unbelievable.
Spencer Horwitz was asked about playing second base tonight and his comfort level. Keep in mind, he is a first baseman by trade, and he was sort of force-fed second base at AAA this year. He's playing second base in the majors right now, and this was Spencer Horwitz after the game.
In terms of the transition to second base, how have you found it so far? I mean, first time doing it at the big league level, been much different from Buffalo? What's it felt like?
It's been fun. I'm being titled or labeled a first baseman pretty much my whole professional career is. I think it gives me a little more versatility, saying that I can play second, and I'm just getting more comfortable with the reps and working with Carlos and with Donnie Murphy and Casey down in Buffalo. I think it's gotten a lot better, and I think it's only going to get better.
All right, Kevin. Moving from first base to second, that's not a move you often see. Now, I understand versatility is important in the game now. We know that.
Yeah.
Could you have played second base?
I was left-handed, so no.
So you can't. Oh, well, there you go. Thank you for answering that. But
absolutely not. But I look. I think it's footwork. I think it's first move. I think it's positioning. I mean, again, they're going into this thing. When the last time you saw him playing second where he's had to really go after a baseball? They are really, really good about standing him in the right spot to where most of them balls that are hit, he's got to take a step or two, and it's right there at him, right? I mean, those balls that he's coming in on, he seems really good at that. It's normally when you move positions, it's side to side because you lose track of the baseball, right? When you're moving to a side, the ball you're seeing most of the time is out of one eye instead of both eyes. And that's the sort of the transition of just trying to, bend over and backhand it or, setting your feet and throwing it. Like that's the sort of the part of it that he's going to have to get used to. But who cares? I mean, they're at the point now where that doesn't matter anymore. Catch the ball that's right at you most of the time, if not all the time, and go up and get on base all the time. Like, that's your job.
3-0. The Blue Jays have beaten the Milwaukee Brewers. Game 3 of the series is tomorrow. It is a 2:10 first pitch on Sportsnet 590. The Fan and Sportsnet will be on following the game with Blue Jays Talk. Again, 3-0. The Blue Jays beating the Milwaukee Brewers. Thank you for listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers.
Has been Major League Baseball play-by-play on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app. Why do I love calling this game?
Calling this game.
Calling this game.
Why do I love calling this game?
It's because I get a chance to bring some joy into people's lives.
Anything can happen on a baseball field.
We've got a new game.
It's perfectly unscripted theater.
Everybody on their feet.
Because you never know what you're going to see on a given day.
It is bedlam in the bank as Bryce Harper has put the Phillies on top.
There's just something about baseball on the radio.
Something about the way wood hits leather.
A swing and a drive to deep left center.
The way leather hits dirt.
And he made the play. Oh, my.
The way a deep fly ball sounds like it's about to change history.
High fly ball to center field. It's hit pretty well toward the wall.
Until the cleats hit the grass, hit the crushed brick, and then nothing but sky and a silent crowd.
That ball's high.
Until leather hits leather and 40,000 fans lose their collective minds.
In a perfect symphony of chaos.
He jumped up on top of the wall, balanced himself, and caught it.
The way nothing triumphs a perfectly honest call.
I don't believe what I just saw.
And the way the right voice can make a moment live forever.
Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Outsiders may think this is just two teams.
The ball, a bat, and a microphone. But no.
For over 100 years, this has been the soundtrack of the American pastime.
He struck it out looking. It's over. It's over. The Rangers have won the World Series.
The soundtrack of summer. This is Major League Baseball on the radio.
Right now on Sirius XM.
All rise.
Coming in 5.
Get ready to play.
4.
Get up. Get up.
3.
Can you believe it?
Put your seatbelt on.
Wow.
Talk about the game and all the stories on MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM 89 and the Sirius XM app.
At 8:66, Cubs on Internet, 8:44. 7:10 p.m., Boston Red Sox take on the Philadelphia Phillies. Red Sox on Sirius 211 XM 178 and Internet 843. Phillies on Internet 860. 7:10 p.m., New York Mets take on the Miami Marlins. Mets on Sirius 119 XM 180 and Internet 857. Marlins on Internet 854. 7:10 p.m. Cincinnati Reds take on the Cleveland Guardians. Reds on Sirius 106 XM 179 and Internet 846. Guardians on Internet 847. 7:40 p.m. Minnesota Twins face the Colorado Rockies. Twins on Sirius 137 XM 181 and Internet 856. Rockies on Internet 848. 7:45 p.m. St. Louis Cardinals take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Cardinals on Sirius 138 XM 182 and Internet 865. Pirates on Internet 861. 8:10 p.m., Kansas City Royals take on the New York Yankees. Royals on Sirius and XM channels 89, Internet 851. Yankees on Internet 858.
On the court and off, your home for the NBA is Sirius XM. Follow all the drama as your favorite team vies for it all. Sirius XM NBA Radio. Sirius XM 86.
Amid rumors surrounding Toronto Blue Jays stars Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette, sports journalist Tyler Kepner stopped by SiriusXM MLB Network Radio on SiriusXM Channel 89 to discuss the rumors and to explain why keeping Vladdy and Bichette in Toronto seems to be what's best for the Blue Jays.
Because I keep looking at this team and thinking that they should be in the mix. They should be contenders. They should be a division, if not at the top of the division, right there. So I would keep going for it and hoping that this core comes through. You've put so much emphasis on this group, on trying to win with build around Vladdy and Bichette. And you could definitely argue that maybe their best group was a couple of years ago when they had Marcus Semien. But there's no reason this team, as currently constituted, maybe with a tweak or two, shouldn't get into the mix. I really think they should be in there, and blowing it up to me is not the answer. I want to build with this group and believe in it. They're really only 2 games under 500. I mean, they're far behind the Yankees, but they're only 2 games under 500, and with all the playoff spots available now, that's close enough to contending.
SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 brings you expert analysis from former players, coaches, and executives, plus reaction to all the latest news on the only 24/7 station dedicated to the National Football League.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM MLB schedule for Tuesday, June the 11th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In Major League Baseball, 6:35 p.m., Baltimore Orioles take on the Atlanta Braves. Orioles on Sirius 208, XM 175, and Internet 842. Braves on Internet 841. 6:40 p.m., Detroit Tigers face the Washington Nationals. Tigers on Sirius 209, XM 176, and Internet 849. Nationals on Internet 869. 6:50 p.m., Tampa Bay Rays face the Chicago Cubs. Rays on Sirius 210, XM 177, and Internet 866. Cubs on Internet 844. 7:10 p.m., Boston Red Sox take on the Philadelphia Phillies. Red Sox on Sirius 211, XM 178, and Internet 843. Phillies on Internet 860. 7:10 p.m., New York Mets take on the Miami Marlins. Mets on Sirius 119, XM 180, and Internet 857. Marlins on Internet 854. 7:10 p.m., Cincinnati Reds take on the Cleveland Guardians. Reds on Sirius 106, XM 179, and Internet 846. Guardians on Internet 847. 7:40 p.m., Minnesota Twins face the Colorado Rockies. Twins on Sirius 137, XM 181, and Internet 856. Rockies on Internet 848. 7:45 p.m., St. Louis Cardinals take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Cardinals on Sirius 138, XM 182, and Internet 865. Pirates on Internet 861. 8:10 p.m., Kansas City Royals take on the New York Yankees. Royals on Sirius and XM channels 89, Internet 851. Yankees on Internet 858. 8:10 p.m., Milwaukee Brewers take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Brewers on Sirius 161, XM 183, and Internet 855. Blue Jays on Internet 868. 9:40 p.m., Seattle Mariners take on the Chicago White Sox. Mariners on Sirius 85, XM 184, and Internet 864. White Sox on Internet 845. 9:40 p.m., San Diego Padres take on the Oakland A's. Padres on Sirius 158, XM 186, and Internet 862. A's on Internet 859. 9:40 p.m., Arizona Diamondbacks take on the LA Angels. Diamondbacks on Sirius 162, XM 185, and Internet 840. Angels on Internet 852. 9:45 p.m., San Francisco Giants take on the Houston Astros. Giants on Sirius 162, XM 187, and Internet 863. Astros on Internet 850. 10:10 p.m. LA Dodgers face the Texas Rangers. Dodgers on Sirius 139, XM 188, and Internet 853. Rangers on Internet 867. Spanish Feed on Sirius 160, XM 189, and Internet 870. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM MLB schedule for Tuesday, June the 11th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In Major League Baseball, 6:35 p.m., Baltimore Orioles take on the Atlanta Braves. Orioles on Sirius 208, XM 175, and Internet 842. Braves on Internet 841. 6:40 p.m., Detroit Tigers face the Washington Nationals. Tigers on Sirius 209, XM 176, and Internet 849. Nationals on Internet 869. 6:50 p.m., Tampa Bay Rays face the Chicago Cubs. Rays on Sirius 210, XM 177, and Internet 866. Cubs on Internet 844. 7:10 p.m., Boston Red Sox take on the Philadelphia Phillies. Red Sox on Sirius 211, XM 178, and Internet 843. Phillies on Internet 860. 7:10 p.m., New York Mets take on the Miami Marlins. Mets on Sirius 119, XM 180, and Internet 857. Marlins on Internet 854. 7:10 p.m., Cincinnati Reds take on the Cleveland Guardians. Reds on Sirius 106, XM 179, and Internet 846. Guardians on Internet 847. 7:40 p.m., Minnesota Twins face the Colorado Rockies. Twins on Sirius 137, XM 181, and Internet 856. Rockies on Internet 848. 7:45 p.m., St. Louis Cardinals take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Cardinals on Sirius 138, XM 182, and Internet 865. Pirates on Internet 861. 8:10 p.m., Kansas City Royals take on the New York Yankees. Royals on Sirius and XM channels 89, Internet 851. Yankees on Internet 858.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
Detroit Tigers manager A.J. Hinch joined MLB Network Radio on SiriusXM Channel 89 to discuss how Justin Henry Malloy offers power and on-base skills to the Tigers lineup.
He smoked the first ball he saw from Nathan Eovaldi last night for the warning track. He's unafraid to hit early and count. This is not a guy who goes up there looking to walk. So he does have a pretty good, strong knowledge of the strike zone. Our players in AAA last year called him like the human ABS. Like he's the dude that swings at strikes and takes balls. And so, you know, that he'll get challenged. And part of the strikeout numbers are gonna come from those long at bats. He's unafraid to get to two strikes. That does get you closer and closer to punch outs. And it gets harder and harder as you get to the big leagues. But he's not going to be like try to go generate walks. He's trying to generate offensive production. And if they throw him strikes, he's an aggressive hitter. If they don't, then he's going to get into good counts and may result in some walks. So I'm looking forward to giving him consistent at bats. He DH'd last night. He's going to DH again tonight and tomorrow on the Goodman in the outfield this weekend against Milwaukee. But his offensive profile, his offensive performance, what he's dominated in AAA, warrants a call up probably long before now. But it's been a work in progress for him to get to this level, and now let's let him settle in and see how he does.
Hear it all on demand. Your favorite shows, your favorite games. Don't miss a second of your favorite SiriusXM programming on demand with the SiriusXM app. Download it now for free.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM MLB schedule for Tuesday, June the 11th. All times are Eastern, and please remember,